Hello, people. I should be live. Right now is December the 4th, 2025, and that should be the, December the 4th live stream from Avenue X. Hope the sound is okay. And let me know if you can or hear me okay and seeing things okay. Hello. Okay, there's already people leaving comments. Hi, who? Hello, okay. So it's working. Cool. Serbia, wow. Is it cold there? We're having blizzard right now. I don't know if you can see it. You can't because it's blurred out, but it was like blowing with snowflakes and 小红书也直播. Why would I go live on 小红书? Who would be watching? It's like speaking English, so Chinese people wouldn't be watching. But honestly, most people are. I don't like 小红书. Okay, 小红书 is my search engine. That's what it uses. Like I use it as. I barely put stuff out there because it's an absolute censorship nightmare place. You don't know why, but you can randomly send out anything and it block you. It blocks you from like sending it out and you don't even know why. But 小红书 censors stuff in the weirdest way. And it's so not creator friendly that I can't use it. I've used it and I've put stuff out and it constantly blocks me. And I don't even know why. And I was just talking about dramas and it blocks me. So I was like, okay, goodbye then. That's not a very good platform. Hi, hello. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff. What? 18 to 20. We're like, yesterday was minus 19 here. So it's like 40 degrees colder than your place. Today it's like slightly likely to go up to like warmer this afternoon, but right now it's snowing like crazy outside. So not a good day probably to go grocery shopping. Although yesterday was worse, so anyway. Well, people who don't have problems with 小红书, you're lucky. You have no idea how hard it is to post anything there. I get like discriminated by it for no good reason. I can't send stuff out like 50% of the time, or it gets blocked after I send it out, and it tells me it's blocked because of its content. I'm like, what? Why? And it doesn't tell you why. So I'm like, okay, fine, goodbye. So, last month of 2025, people. We're already here. Every year. How many times have we said that? I still remember like 2023, 2024, at the end of the year, December, like how I was talking about the whole year. It's 2025 already. Okay. Glad we've made it here, right? Everyone who's like living and breathing and kicking right now. Yeah, November probably overall is the best month of 2025 for Chinese dramas, I'd say. But honestly, it's still not good enough. It doesn't make me excited. You know, like this time for Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty 3, I didn't even bother to download the whole drama because I've downloaded the first two so that I can make edits. This time I didn't even download the third. I'm just like, in the future, if I ever want to make an edit, I'll then go and find it. Otherwise, I don't want to bother. And honestly, it's too long. It's like already 100, right? It's 36, so it's like 72 plus 40. So it's 112. It's 112 episodes in total already. It's like intense. If you want to edit anything out of that, just the hard drive for all the episodes is insane. So I didn't even bother to download it. I just watched the drama and I'm like, okay, you know, not too disappointed, but kind of like the IP needs a little bit cool down. and a little bit restructuring. I mean, it still has great potential for much better fourth season or fifth in their term due to the nature of the structure of the story. But we can talk about that later today. We're going to talk about a couple of main dramas that have gone live this month or are right now on, for sure. So Tang Dynasty was earlier this month, the third season. Then it wraps. Then you get Love on the Turquoise Land, and then you get the Chen Xiao businessman drama, right? And the legend of them. Why do they say magnate? Like, that's such an unusual word. I don't even know, like, people use that word. We'll just use tycoon. Who cares? It's an English title. That one is airing and I'm watching today. The Sniper Butterfly just went live on Tencent with Zhou Keyu and Chen Yanxi. And end of last month, it was All Rise, also a Tencent, also sharing with Aiqi or Youku, I can't remember. Drama, that's the lawyer, the intern of the law firm drama with Hu Xianxu, He Landou, Zhou Yiran. These couple are the main right now airing, I'd say. And also like the Zhong Hanliang, Qinglan one, although I haven't really tested it. I got really pissed by its copyright stupid thing on my last week's video. I mean, it's just a freaking trailer, and even that trailer is like, we have copyright, you're not allowed to use it. I'm like, can't. So I'm not gonna watch your drama. Good luck. So I mean, it's not like I'm hugely interested in the Zhong Hanliang Qinlan drama anyway, the second gen's one. But since they literally blocked my last week's video, so I had to go back and re-edit stuff and re-upload it, and it was a mess. And it took so much time because the back end of YouTube last week was, I don't know what's going on with it. It takes hours and hours for it to figure out like if there's something wrong in your video. And I'm like, okay, I've had enough. So my punishment to this drama is I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care who gives best acting in that drama, Qinlan and Zhong Hanliang. I have nothing against them personally, but I'm not gonna pay even 1 second of attention to that drama because they're stupid. Okay, that's me. I'm very vengeful. Okay. Mao Xiaotong, Qin Junjie, I watched like 2 episodes and I just didn't continue. I don't find the story very captivating in any sense. I mean, it looks cute and both of them are good actors, but the story itself is not very interesting. Like, I kind of zoned out quite easily while that was airing. I mean, compared to the other Qin Junjie drama that I made a video on, The Blemish, that drama is a lot easier for you to get in. Like, you get hooked onto the plot and a very clean sort of direction the story is heading, like, really easily from episode 1. It's like information dense and not wasting your time, and it's a case breaking and you just follow the clues. Whereas the Mao Xiaotong and Qin Junjie one, that's about the Miao ethnic minority region, like countryside, kind of like those very tasky drama. I watched like 2 episodes and I couldn't even remember what it was about. I said, like, it's so blurry, so I didn't keep watching. I don't know what happened later. I kind of forgot about its existence. It's like that's how not existing it feels to my brain, and I totally forgot about it. So those are the dramas. Zhao Lusi's new agency is still by the same boss, like the big boss, right? Because the first company that she got out of is like, and then the second company she ended up in is also the basically the money from Ali, you know, from Alibaba. I think that's like their background, so it does not actually make a difference. It's whatever capital wants to play the game, right? And Zhao Lusi or whoever, they're just like puppet. They're the front, the thing that you use to make money on. It's like pretty much every like traffic actor, whatever, is like that in China right now. I mean, think about South Korean entertainment business, right? How different is that? It's just like everybody is replaceable, honestly. And as long as you can make the money, you're good. You're golden baby. As soon as you lose that, we'll find another one to replace you. Not real humans. And also, you join this game willingly so that you can make money and, you know, at least for some years of your life, be famous. As long as everybody knows, you know, what they're in this for and what it entails, I think it's just adults doing business. Yeah, good to know. It's a good drama. At least doesn't waste your time. I just have vendetta against that drama now because it just is so stupid. I just put a clip of its trailer in the corner of my weekly video and it blocks me. And I had to basically redo a lot of stuff for it and I hated it. So that's it. I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, so yeah, the Rooster thing is like, yeah, whatever, they want to do it. I think they just find her still valuable. She can make money for whatever reason, right? Like, she's got fans who want to pay money for whatever she does, so why not use her? Everybody gets what they want in it. And don't think of it as anything else. It's just like, no need to put emotion in that. You'd be so silly to think that. These people are just there for business. So we will briefly talk about dramas, but also like probably a little bit about the game because I've been playing. If anybody is playing it, you know, it's just fun. Although I haven't done any social thing like making up teams, go out and do all those like what they call MMO or even PvP. I'm very I'm scared of like pairing up with random people and totally F them up because I'm very bad at playing games. I can tell you that. I still haven't figured out. I haven't beaten Tianying, okay? And definitely not the Sleeping Taoist. And definitely not the White Wolf. Like a White Wolf, I accidentally walked onto him. Like I didn't even know where I was. I just ended up in there. And I was like, who is this guy? And then I died. Something. And the Sleeping Taoist is the same thing for that game. Is I accidentally walked up to a pretty tree and I got murdered. I'm like, what is this? And then I died. And then the second time I walked to that tree, I realized, oh, it's the same tree. And I tried again. I couldn't do it. I haven't even gotten through Tianying, okay? Anybody who knows the guy who's like in who has 3 phases and who turns into the sand statue and I couldn't even beat him. So I'm like, I'm so bad at games. I just don't wanna ruin other people. That's why I don't go and form a team with other people. Anyone who has a good idea about how to get through Tianying, let me know, because I've tried. And he's I'm not good at it yet. At least now. Although I like the cats. There are so many cats in this game and they all have ridiculous names. Anyway, we'll talk about the game later. Okay, first let's talk about dramas because somehow this is still a drama channel. Oh, we definitely should also briefly talk about Golden Rooster. Golden Rooster, Golden Toaster, Golden Roaster. It's just such a joke. Such a joke. Anyway, Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, I haven't made a video. Like I said in my Turquoise video, it actually hasn't finished. That's how awkward the drama is. They filmed 10 cases. They used 8 for the drama. That's why probably the drama took 5 months, I think, solid 5-6 months to film, is because it's actually quite a lot of stuff. And then they're reserving it for 2 individual cutout cases that's gonna air around January sometime. That will be cutting to 20 minutes per episode. So it's like 20 episodes, something like that. It's so odd, but it's shorter, and it's those 2 extra cases for the 3rd season of Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty. So it's kind of weird to talk about it now. Like you haven't actually seen the full thing, and they're doing it. I mean, under the excuse. I don't know if it's post-rationalizing, but basically they said their company is very superstitious about the 4th season for whatever reason. So they're not going to have officially a 4th season. They're going to actually have basically 3rd season, and the 4th is those 2 episodes that's being made into shorter dramas. And then the next one that they're gonna do will be the 5th season, and it will take a while. Basically, they were saying they probably need a year to just get the script and stuff sorted out. So 2026, you actually are not gonna get any Strange Tales of Tang. You probably will wait till 2027 to see the 5th season. That's what we know for it now. They do have the short version. One is about those 2 magistrate who died in the drama. The one of them, like there's a small vertical screen drama about him, and then there is somebody just said another short one that's mostly about Su Wuming and Xi Jun, I think. So it's Yang Zhigang and Gao Suwen, their story. It's also, I think, in a short drama form. It's gonna come out, but that's not the main. That's why Strange Tales is so confusing. That's not the main Strange Tale. The main Strange Tales, 2 more cases will show up in January next year. So you had the 3rd season that has 8 cases, 40 episodes that has finished. There are 2 more cases coming up in January that will be cut into 20 episodes, each episode 20 minutes. So that's the extra so-called 4th season, because they don't want to have an official 4th season because they're superstitious. Because 4, that's one reason maybe. Like in Chinese, it sounds like death. Maybe that's one of the reasons, but maybe they have other reasons that you don't know, and they just find an excuse. Who knows? So then the 5th season is likely, if they are like still doing it, 2027. You're not gonna see one in 2026. As for the 2 extra shorter dramas, that's like vertical screen, and the other one is like just on Su Wuming and I think Pei Shijun. It will be coming up. Confusing, right? It's like breaking one thing into so many different chunks, and you're totally confused about which one is which. It's not creepy. Strange Tales is not creepy. Sometimes it's a little bit silly because it has a lot of monsters in it that looks like, because it's all CG, right? And it's like monsters jumping around. It's like monster hunting. Every season has a couple of like really funny monsters. So for the main one that has finished, that has 8 cases, 40 episodes, my opinion on it is, it feels a little bit, it's literally creating a trap for itself because it decided this whole season is going to be happening in capital. Previous 2 seasons is very easily read as road movie because they're traveling. The pack is always on the move. So every new places they go to, meet new people and new things happen. And the nature of the road movie, you can have a lot of different things coming in, and you always are excited, and there's always like changing landscape of population, demographics, things you encounter. It's a much more creative form, like easier structure for you to put all kinds of imaginative stuff in it, whereas this time they are literally just restricting that to Chang'an. Also, they have to deal with the fact that it's set in a real historical time, so the politics and historical figures and their power play has to play into this. And it kind of like, I feel like it's chaining the story in its positions, that a lot of things cannot really be done that freely. Also, because inevitably the 3rd season has to deal with court politics and historical stuff. I'd say it's not the strong suit for this story to go too deep in politics because it's so complicated and messy. And we all know how history actually went down. The way they do it is, because it's ultimately still detective stories. You can't put that much time into the politics, but if you don't explain the politics, you kind of cannot understand why Chang'an and all those characters are like that. So it's like, you know, trying to juggle too many balls, and it results in not so ideal kind of structure and picture flow of this season. Its cases are, some of them are still good, some are forgettable, and then some are slightly you can debate about how it's written, or it could be done better. It's not a bad drama compared to a lot of shitty dramas. It's still the better Chinese dramas. But I think by its third season, it has kind of gotten a little bit tired of itself, and it needs to figure out how to basically give it internal refreshing kind of thing happening for the next one. So it would be a nice thing actually for them to take a while, at least 2 years, to wait for the next season to come out, so that they can give the actors a rest too, and then stay like a little bit distant from the IP and re-look at it and figure out what was the thing that actually made it work initially, and if things are like a little bit like off track, right, how you pull it back, all that. So I think it's good that they're waiting for more time for the next one. For me, among the 8 cases, I think most people would think the best case would be the husband and wife. I mean, it's kind of weird that for all 3 seasons of this drama, the best cases of all 3 seasons are all about a couple. The first one is about the Shusheng and his wife. The second one is about the coroner and his wife. And then a second one. The third one is about this guy, who is how do you term him? Like a small worker who's not really officially an official, but who works for the government, and his wife. So the best case is still a very small case between a couple, right? In this season, it provides, I'd say, the best performance, or the most heightened moments in the drama that was happening, like in the scene where there are like 4 people in the room, but 2 people are talking, but then they're gesturing different things, and it's all for a reason. I mean, that's kind of like the greatest scene of this season. I mean, it makes me feel maybe that the writer's actual strength is in writing romantic stories. He should branch off in writing detective/romantic stories. I think that's overall the best case, but it's still not perfect, because some of it I still find is a little bit too forced. It's like too not flowing naturally. Although it's probably the best one, in my opinion, overall. 去天十五 is also a pretty good one, but I would say that one is also debatable. That one gets a lot of debate on internet for some couple of reasons. I'll talk about that later. The next one, actually, I think I prefer is the 成佛寺, is the 方丈, the monk being bullied by public opinions, and everyone decided he is the murderer. But he's not. The girl who looks like Wu Zetian, that case is interesting. I like the girl character quite a lot, and I like the mother, like her performance. You have to say the mother actress, Yang Kun, she's one of the best actresses in China. She's so good, and she's always so good in everything she's in. Like, she's playing mother, right, for so many times in contemporary Chinese dramas. And you can't even like ever say there's one that she failed at. She's like such a good actress, like on a different caliber than the younger actors in this drama. I like that case, about the girl who looks like Wu Zetian and all the problems she got in because of that. Then I would say I actually like the short case, the very short one that's actually referring to historical real poets and historical figures. The short one with the poets who's like going to the banquet, and then whoever gets their poem sung most times win. That part with the businessman. I love that one. It's short, but it's really cute. And then I love the ending where the businessman is like, okay, I'm gonna join you, and the three of them just like ride off, and I'm like, it's so cute. It's tiny, but I like it. It's been cute, and I like all the literature references because that's actually referring to real people in Chinese history, in poetry, and they slightly hide their name, change a little bit here and there. Also, they use their 字 instead of their 名 in the drama so that you don't immediately know who they are if you're very not much in literature. But it's like really lovely. It shows the writer knows what they're doing, right? They know the history of Tang and then very famous people. And then after that, 去天池五 is a pretty good case, but it's very, very also like being argued about in online. On one hand, you can say it is a pretty, I'd say, right, accurate portrayal of the time, where Tang at that point is still very much thinking very highly of the shi, of the Chinese version of the aristocrat family, where they have still quite a bit power. Maybe not necessarily always in actual politics, but in fame and in concept of the nation, it's like they're Brahmins. It's like the easiest way to put that in perspective for people these days. They just have such a high status because of their lineage, and that is actually at odds with the ruling family and their ideal of collecting power and strip of those family of power so they can actually create a new system, which is the exam system, which will fully become implemented in the next dynasty. So not really fully in Tang. By the end of Tang, it's kind of better than the one you're watching like in the drama time now, but it really wouldn't until the Zhao family took over that system fully gets in place, where the ancient or the aristocrats family got wiped out. So we're at that point in history where if you are living at the time as the drama has it, and you're a member of the Wang, Cui Lu Zheng Wang, those families, you are treated like differently by people, and even sometimes the imperial family are not viewed as high as you are, and it's a pretty realistic portrayal. So the kind of Lu Lingfeng's perspective, right? His talks with that guy, the Cui guy, and then and in the drama, the Du and Wei, the two county kind of like magistrate, however you call their job, policemen, police head bureau, whatever, of their district, and why they do the things they do, right? I mean, in a way, it's a very reasonable portrayal of people of that time. But then when this drama airs, there's quite a bit argument online in China in terms of how the drama decides to depict these people, which is, on one hand, it is understandable that you portray it in that way because, oops, that's the I think I got frozen. What is going on? Okay, let me check. Hello? Okay, let me try to get this sorted. I'm in a weird freezing frame. I was just touching this. How is that weird? Am I? I know. I'm in a really weird way right now, and I don't know what's going on. I just plugged in my computer in power because I realized I wasn't plugged in. Can you hear me now? Can you hear? Can people hear me? Okay, weird. We should try to... Okay, and then I'll click it back. Okay, I'm back, I think. It just freezes me for no good reason. I think it's because I was plugging in my power and it just doesn't like it. Yeah, I have no idea why that's happening. So weird. Okay, as long as it's working. No, it looks weird. I was like freezing in the corner. Anyway, so when this drama aired, that episode, there's a lot of criticism online, is because there's the extensive ending part of the drama where it hypes it up very much. It creates this very heroic, tragic, but this praising for the Shi class, for the two people who got like beheaded, right? And then their family. And it's almost like, although Su Ming in his words really argued, like he's on the people's side more because he is not belonging to the sort of top class, whereas Lu Lingfeng is more proud of that. And then these two guys who eventually got found out guilty of murdering, and then they're being beheaded, but how they're portrayed, like how heroic still they look and how good they are, gentlemen, you know. And then their family, right, and the women, it's like all extremely positive. Extremely positive, and with the music, with the rhythm of like how you do those shots, it kind of creates extremely overwhelmingly positive image of those Shizu families, and that gets criticized online by a lot of people because it's People's Republic of China, you know. So that's not the thing that Chinese current people believe in, and also people are extremely alert about these things because in current China, you also see this trend of as economy develops, inevitably the class distances from super rich, powerful people, family, right, is like moving further and further away from the general public, the commoners, let's put it that way. So people are highly, highly, highly sensitive about that. And because China is built upon the idea of breaking that down, not having that system, right, not subscribing to that system, which is still working in most of the other places in the world. And also, like, because of all the political things that's ongoing right now in the world, basically, young people, particularly the demographics, targeted demographics of this drama, are highly, highly aware of these class rhetorics that's in real life. So they're very sensitive. When they see this overwhelmingly positive portrayal of those classes, people gets like, so they criticize the drama. I think it's a pretty valid criticism. On one hand, I agree that it's a pretty realistic portrayal of people. On the other hand, I think they need to think about, this has been made in 2025, and how you should, within the drama, also preempt that, and know what you're doing might be interpreted as something else, and then it's not so difficult to see that, because when I was seeing those two episodes, I was like, okay, I see trouble coming, and I'm like, okay, this is definitely gonna be criticized. If I were the person who wrote the drama, I would do it slightly differently here and there to make sure it's clear, like audiences can get the idea from the writer, which is it is overall for factually a exploiting system, and Chinese people have outgrown it, right? History has chosen the other path, and whatever you say, these people have their pride and their whatever privilege and their so-called, they're better educated, they're the better people because it's built upon exploitation of others. Actually, their generations and generations of wealth and inheritance, right, was built upon what, right? And I mean, as an individual, you're born in that family, so you don't necessarily have a choice in terms of what you get. Like, you get all the resources just naturally by the fact that you're born there. But it does not mean, right, therefore it is okay, or therefore like your ancestors, generations and generations of like piled up, right, advantages they've accumulated is therefore fair, right? So all that is very important thing, and from current contemporary audiences and writers' perspective, and also like as a Chinese person, honestly, you need to actually make it very clear to the audiences, and that's the message you need to put out there. I think they weren't sensitive enough, or they for the dramatic kind of atmosphere they create for that episode, they want that ending of that slow motion montage and music and all that. Like, it feels good to do that as a drama creator, but you have to think about, by doing that, you're actually using those visual cinematic language to make something look good or look neutral, look bad, right? You can do that, and they clearly are making them look too good, and it makes people unhappy. Pretty valid criticism, although I don't think they meant it very, like, in any sense, like, ill meaning, because you also constantly see this argument between Lu Lingfeng and Su Wuming's character. Although you can also say that's a little bit constructed by the drama, because technically speaking, if you look at Tang Dynasty history, Su Wuming comes from Wugong Su Shi, which is not a major tier 1, tier 0, super powerful aristocrat family of the time, but still he's not like an average Joe on the road, right? He still belongs to a clan that actually has some presence. So by that point of Tang Dynasty, which is already after Wu Zetian and immediately just at the beginning of Li Longji's rule, if he is actually a Su family member, he wouldn't be really discriminated against in that like significant way. He's still considered to be one of like them, like the higher class people, just not as high as the other couple. And so that's also like, you know, like the writer decided it's the case, but probably in history it's not really that the case. And in case people are wondering about the Tang Dynasty part, briefly speaking, is by the end of Tang Dynasty, basically, in the drama, the current emperor, the guy, right? By the end of his ruling, everything was like tits up, and there was a huge rebellion that was held by, very interestingly, actually, you can say originally foreign people, because Tang Dynasty is very open to, you know, everywhere. So you actually have foreign people being officials in Tang's court, and also Tang is so huge it cannot actually do it themselves, basically. So they have like an outpost of the country, right? People who run it, like in fact, like the ruler of those places. It's just they are under the central government's supposedly rule, but technically central government cannot really do much to them because they're so far away. And anyway, one of those people, or two of those people, you can say, started a really major rebellion and kicked the emperor out of the capital and burned Chang'an down and killed pretty much everybody there. And it goes into a mess of a period, and that's the Yang Guifei part where it's famous. And then afterwards, Tang is like, from that point on, Tang is falling. It's still managed to exist for a while, but it wasn't no longer the earlier part, so it was like great. And then at the end of Tang Dynasty, mess broke out, and there was a very interesting historical figure, Huang Chao, who basically wiped out all the aristocrat families, and also like the pretty much Tang royals. So technically, people like Lu Lingfeng and Pei Xijun in this drama, right? If they had descendants, right, most likely by that time they're all dead. It was like pretty epic, where they literally go and grab like everybody who has those like Cui Lu Zheng Wang surnames and just cut them down, like chop them down, kill everyone. To the point where a lot of those descendants of those families had to change their surname and hide. And therefore later you never can trace who is who, so they all become other people. Because all those aristocrat families were completely, like literally targeted and wiped out. So at the end of Tang, that happened. And after that, there's like 60 years of like total mess of Wudai Shiguo, where like multiple dynasties, multiple countries, multiple names coming up and down in different places, all a mess until Song came around and in a way technically created another unified kingdom, although it's much smaller, and you can argue like how unified it is. And anyway, so from Song onwards, Keju, the official exam system, becomes fully in place, and the previous hundreds and thousands of years kind of like lineage of the so-called very, very important aristocrat families were gone, like irrelevant. people don't even know who they are. It's like they probably still have like descendants. They're not completely physically fully wiped out. Some of them are still left over. You can still know that they're from that lineage. Some just like their ancestors changed surnames along the way, so that you never know who they are. So that aristocrat system of China got totally destroyed by that point. So we're at in the Tang Dynasty drama, we're at the beginning of the total collapse, you can say, but not yet. Not yet. That's like roughly what it's like, right? So, yeah. Strange Tales of Tang, third season, wasn't so exciting, I'd say, as the first two. And also, I think I got a little bit tired of it, too. They have to stop and rethink and hope they can pull it back and for the fifth season, right? Go back to the road movie and detective stories. Really, that's like what's really fun about it. It's too heavy. It's too being controlled by the actual history's framework that you can't get out of. And the whole setup of Lu Linfeng being Taiping Gongzhu's son is also an obstacle for the story. China has a what are you talking about? The current civil servants system is also examined, and it's really difficult to get through it. If anyone wants to be a civil servant or kind of working for government in China, you have to go through 考公. That's a nightmare. The 考公 thing is nightmare. Okay. And I think fifth season when they started, they're gonna basically start with the fight between the princess and the nephew, and then honestly, reasonably, they should just get to the point where she dies, so that can technically set Lu Linfeng off to another journey. Because also historically, Taiping Gongzhu's son, like she's got multiple sons, but one of those sons looks more like Lu Linfeng's original character. It's like his character is kind of based on that person, and that person didn't get killed by the emperor due to being the princess' son, and they're actually good friends. But because of all the political sort of like complications of things, he basically got sent out of Chang'an and couldn't come back to Chang'an, I think, all his life. That should be like whatever Lu Linfeng is based on. They should, for the fifth season, just go with that. Yeah, he's gonna be basically, what is that, exiled. Because of like, he's the son of the person, you know, like who I just like destroyed and who's technically treason. Like how you're gonna go around that legal system, right? There's no way. But then I don't necessarily hate you, and I know you don't actually necessarily hate me, and we're not really enemies on our own private terms. It's just like, what can I do? And also Li family in history, right? Li Tang is famous for family members killing each other. Like there's no control over it. People murder father, mother, daughter, son, brothers. Like they kill each other as if it's dinner time. You should look at Tang Dynasty history. It's just so brutal. It's like everybody is against, like people just kill their kings like nothing happened. So really it's like, you know, like Wu Zetian as a mother, right? He's got his sons killed. Li Longji in this current drama, like the current emperor, when he got older, he's gonna kill 3 of his sons in one day, okay? And you've got sons like basically not killing, but basically destroy their father and say, okay, I'm gonna take over your power now. So, and also like all those people, right, in Tang Dynasty history is like just chopping each other down like nothing. So don't get surprised by it. They're like aunt and nephew. Oh, that's not even like mother and son can kill each other, right? So who cares about aunt and nephew? That's Tang. That's the realistic sort of like history of Tang. 太平公主和上官婉儿 GL. Taiping is so busy. All I can say is She's got multiple husbands. She's got lovers. She's got also like 上官婉儿. It's like, I just want to be as busy as my mom, because Wu Zetian was busy too. Yeah, anybody who ever tried China's civil exam, it's insane. It's insane. Like you got to have like not only like spend so much time and effort preparing, but also you have to have blind luck. So that's that one. Then 萧几清壤, Love on Turquoise Land happened on 22nd, I think, something like that. Anyway, they aired. I'm still watching it, but it's kind of like not considered to be like popular or like got really good data as it was airing, and I can see why, because the story for Love on the Turquoise Land, if it has to be this story, right, you can't change much, I would shorten it to 24 episodes maximum. It should have already ended, right, like 2 days ago, something like that. If that's the case, maybe it will be better. Right now it's 32 and it's ridiculous. It doesn't need 32. It's so long. No. And there are actually chunks of this drama that can be cut out. I mean, it's romantic, it's like a little bit atmosphere, and a couple of scenes, slow music, like set up the atmosphere. Okay, it can happen like once or twice, like along the line. Don't do it all the time. It has very beautifully shot but extensive scenes that takes a lot of time, and it really doesn't have any plot. It's just like folding the lucky star, writing the diary, with those pretty shots of the two leads who look really pretty, but I'm like, nothing is happening. You're wasting your life. Come on, move on. It's one thing. The other is the supporting roles are not likable. Particularly that guy. Like I said in the video, he's so annoying. I know he's annoying in the book as well, but if you're adapting it to drama, and this guy actually takes quite a bit screen time, yet he's so unlikable on paper, on the written form. The actor doesn't. Honestly, I don't like that actor, okay? He doesn't look in any way attractive. Also, his acting is also very pissed. It's like he's pissed with everybody and everything. And also, his way of speaking his lines is like, he's like a robot. He speaks out lines. For example, I'm reading somebody who just wrote something, okay? So, he's speaking like, 太平公主亲口念上官婉儿墓志铭. He speaks like that. Like, who speaks like that? That guy's acting is so annoying. His presence is annoying. His function in the story is annoying. What he does is stupid and annoying. And he takes so much time, and he's not pretty and not interesting to look at. I look at him, I fast forward, I can't bear spending time, even for 1 second, on this character in the drama. And he's in every episode. I'm just like, ah! So if 萧几清壤 can get rid of 形声, that whole thing, right? Like just get rid of him. Cut down all those wasting time scenes that are just like pretty but not doing anything. It would be so much better. Now that's just on not changing any of the actual story setup, end of the story. And one ultimate problem with this is you have to so make believe of the world they set up, which is very hard for an adult like me. I'm like, yes, it's not being specific which city it is happening, but we assume it's in some form of China because you're all speaking Chinese and it's contemporary and it's like parallel universe, okay, but any of Wei's contemporary fantasy story has this one problem of it could not happen in reality at all. You can't make believe it because it's basically creating a world where there's no government, there's no governance, there's no police, there's no national security, there's no any kind of intelligence going on. If you have a killer species living underground who's been fighting with humans for thousands of years, I guarantee you Chinese government would have taken care of it long before like you need any hunters to do it. I mean, the government actually has branches that deals with special things that are supernatural. They just don't come out on like broad daylight. They don't tell you where they're from and what they're doing, but I guarantee you China has it, okay? Urban legend or not, it's like not a secret, really. And also, if we say the actual government has none of those like supernatural, whatever powerful, like people like monitoring what is going on with the world and who's doing what. We just have science. It's still stupid. Like if you have a species like that like you consider to be on species level a threat to human beings, and it's in China, what's gonna happen? Chinese government is having the best drills in the world to dig deep into the soil and then just put a couple of nuclear bombs and it's done. You don't need anything anymore. We just nuke all of them. We atomize them so that there's no future, no possibility of them coming back to life, and it's all done. We don't need thousands of years of generations of people using sword to chop monster stone. We can nuke them, okay? I mean, it's like also that this world doesn't have police. So like anybody gets murdered, the cars get thrown into the river, like nobody ever discovers it, and there's no official like governance, like CCTV cameras don't exist, nobody ever got seen, captured, all that, you know, it's like make-believe. So I have to believe it's in a parallel universe where it's China, but it's not China, and it's run by like no government. So therefore there's no police involved, and it's all these people doing the things on their own. And also the fact that the Yexiao species in this drama, they're just so lame. They're like the most lame monsters. Their system of like taking over human body is so stupidly designed. And I mean, if by DNA you're that bad, like you need to eat the same family's descendants, otherwise you can't do, you should go extinct. Because by DNA you're like a failed design. If you cannot naturally like compete and survive, right? Goodbye. That's nature's law. It's so pathetic. Like they're like evil, but they're pathetic. I mean, like, so for all those foundational kind of belief, it all has to be suspended. Otherwise, you can't watch this drama. And it's just still very lame. It's like nobody even fires a contemporary weapon in this. It's like cold sword, because they were like, you can't kill them with other. Really? You think so? If I missile them and I literally break their body into like atom sized, right? Are they gonna come back and also like regroup? If you cut the head off or pull the heart out and they die, then like they're killable. You still can resolve to machine guns. Right? You don't even need missiles, so why can't you destroy them? Like, I don't get it. Like, I watch it and every time I'm like, yeah, but that does not make sense. I mean, actors are okay. Like, apart from that guy, I mean, everybody looks, Zhang Li is good, Dilruba is okay, and Chen Xinxun is also okay. Liu Xian, he's in every way with drama. He's like the support of everybody in every way drama. But still, like overall, like the foundation of the existence of this world, right? Like at the core, it's 黑帮火并, okay? It's two 黑帮, it's two gangster group. One is called the Nanshan Hunters, one is called Yexiao. And they don't care about the legal system of the world they live in, and apparently there isn't one. There is no government, no police, like no actual military, none of that exists in their world. So they have to take it in their own hands and deal with it. So you have to completely believe in that to watch the drama. Otherwise, every time like you look at them being really serious and cool, and then you think about it, you start laughing. You can't take it seriously. It's like immediately you're thinking, why are you holding knives and looking at each other like that with whips and stuff? Like there should be drones in the air and shooting bullets in millions. You just turn them into pate and they can't come back. I'm pretty sure from that. It's done then. I mean, with the technology, right, and the military sort of like stuff China has these days, it's just fun to watch it and try to take it seriously. I can't. I just keep laughing internally. I mean, also, the cooler they look, the more pretentiously cooler. For example, Zhang Li's character, she's really cool. the more like mafia and queen of the underworld she looks, the funnier it gets, because I can't take it seriously. And it's probably my fault. My brain is just too realistic to make believe in these things. And yeah. So I was watching and having fun at the same time, like feeling, oh, come on, move on. And also, come on, get some like proper weapons. So that's 消起清凉. I can watch it, parts of it. I think it's still better than other 尾鱼 drama, but I think 尾鱼 stories overall, I have the problem of like, I can't believe in it. No matter which one, like Rattan, or the Xinjian, I've watched like a third of it. Like all these dramas, and West of Yumen, right? I'm like, can't believe in it. What? Can't believe in it. Try very hard. My default programming of living in a realistic world is too strong, probably. And also I would find it's lazy way of like disregard completely the structure of the world when you set it in this kind of world. You're not like saying it's in a fantasy like immortals flying realm, right? You're like contemporary real life. People are humans. They don't have superpowers in a sense. and then you're writing that is like, let's just forget. There's police, there's government, there's like constant 24/7 civilians on camera at every street corner now. And any communication can be intercepted by state. It's like, yeah, this can go on. Always like I can have fun for a while, but I can never take it seriously. So this type of stories always have the problem of ultimately I don't believe in it. So ultimately I wouldn't have the ability to fully. I would basically find it would be me being stupid if I fully dive in. That's a problem for me. Okay, and I was just like, okay, cool, yeah, move on to other things. So I would still keep watching it. I know what's gonna happen later because it's kind of clear in trailers too, but it's, as a drama, it doesn't need 32 episodes. It needs to cut down all these unnecessary parts of the supporting characters, the useless Nanshan hunters and that guy, and maybe it will be better as entertainment stuff. But ultimately, it's one of those things that I'm gonna just be like, okay, have fun, bye. 龙骨焚香, there's also 三线迷回 with 孟子义 and is it Wang Hongyi? There's another one. So 龙骨焚香 is Jing Tian and Zhang Bingbing again, and then 三线迷回 is 孟子义. That's that one. 大生意人 陈晓 drama on 爱奇艺 The Legend of the Magnate, like that word is really weird to me. I can't pronounce it somehow. Anyway, it's the businessman drama. It's like the male version. I also have been following it, but I think so initially the first couple of episodes, I really feel it's like the old-fashioned, proper historical that I haven't seen for a while. Like the fact that in this drama, nobody gets like whitened and smoothed. So in the daylight, outside exterior, there's barely even any polyboards. Like you can't see the reflecting of idol dramas where they have a polyboard that's like under your face, so it brightens it up, right? Like the white thing that's like brightens the face up. It doesn't even exist for this drama. Everybody is in their natural skin color and barely having any makeup, so it's like all the wrinkles, all the flesh not being like flat and whitened out, and it looks so real. That was like, I haven't seen a historical drama where nobody gets special beauty treatment for years, and this looks just so odd. And first couple of episodes feels very much like an old-fashioned historical, which I really liked. I think by the point where when they go to the prairie to do that round of business, and then the girl went into the tent of basically the kind of leader, the clan leader of that part, and then saved them accidentally. and then she immediately becomes a princess by their, like, the parents, the adopted parents, quotation mark. I start to laugh because I feel like, that random plot just happened. Like, what? And then from that point onwards, things got like a little bit fungal. It's like a crazy dog. Like, it's running so fast. It starts to pick up this, like, this pace, almost like a short drama, like a short vertical drama where things just go too fast. And you barely see any build-up of anything. It just like turns and boom, 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 things keep happening. And then by the point Xiang Hanzhi's character showed up, it just is like, hold on, slow down, please. Like, how fast she got into the camp with that general character played with Zhu Yawen, and how fast she basically falls in love with him, and then suddenly the world doesn't matter, and it all happened way too, like, because the writer said so. And it's so fast. Like, I'm like, yeah. I start to feel I can't take it quite seriously, as like it still has the visual quality of a proper historical drama, but just the way it's told is like, it's not as bad as the 热依扎 earlier drama on Youku, the female businesswoman, like the Bloom, whatever, that rushes so much in the first episode that first episode put me off already. This one, the first 4 or 5 episodes were like normal, and then it starts to dash, like it's like a husky that's run wild and can't control it. It's just trying to drag everything into an abyss, and it just goes, it's like Arha, the Arha dog goes crazy. And although I would say, right, Chen Xiao's acting is pretty good. There are a couple of other people I think they're overall all doing a very good job. Like Li Chun is shockingly pretty. She's prettier than what she looks like in Ru Yi Zhuan, for example. I mean, I like her character, and she also is like killer. But because of how fast the plot is happening and how over the top most of the time it is, I start to not take it seriously. I think it looks serious, but it's at the core a very 爽文and a very short drama. So I start to like not really having a good feeling about it. I still watch it every day, but I often watch it on the side. Like, I don't stare at the screen all the time because I don't think it deserves that much of my attention. And then the Xiang Hanzhi and Zhu Yawen line, I really got put off by it, not because of the two actors acting. Honestly, I don't find a huge problem with it. I think it's just too rushed, but in terms of within each scene, they're not doing too much of a wrong thing. I got put off by the promotion over it. It is so weird that before this drama even aired, this whole thing, right? It aired on 25th. A few days before this drama even started airing its first episode, there are cuts on social media, on Bilibili, Xiaohongshu, everywhere you go, that is just about a love story between Xiang Hanzhi and Zhu Yawen. That hasn't even, like, the drama doesn't have it until 10 numbers of episodes, I think. And it's days before the drama even aired. I've seen multiple, like, promotional posts, stuff on this couple, just on this couple. And it's all just saying such, like, making me feel, like, embarrassed. Broad daylight praising over the top, kissing up the ass of the actress or the actor words. It's like, oh, the 人生角色. Oh, this is her life career character, and all those like with crazy music and like quick cutting and trying to get your emotional reaction of those slow motion shots of the actress, like hair flying. And I've seen so much promotional stuff on this couple before the drama even aired, and they're not even the main leads. They don't even show up in the first 10 episodes. I was like, what the heck is going on? And as the drama airs, there's more and more and more promotional material just on Zhu Yawen and Xiang Hanzhi's coupling. That has nothing to do with Chen Xiao. Chen Xiao is the male lead, but there's no promotion on him. He doesn't get any promotional cap. It's like he's not paying anybody to do it, so it's not being done on internet. And everything you get pushed on like 小红书, Bilibili, it's 微博, it's all 向韩志. I'm like, stop doing that. You are doing it too obviously, right? If you want to do something, do it skillfully. If you want to be a fox, hide your tails first. It's just too blatant in your face that I am like, goodbye. Sorry, I'm not stupid, okay? So I'm not gonna subscribe to that, and I get put off. I got so put off that I can't watch this couple. Like I see them and I'm like awkward. It is so shameless. The drama hasn't even aired. And it doesn't show up like until like episode, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, 19. Like these people don't even exist in the first part of the story. And they get promoted before the drama even aired. And the male lead never gets any promotion. Huh? Good. Love it. Love Capital's babies. Okay? All those young girl actresses, like a couple of them, like in the Beijing circle. I roll. I'm so eye rolling. And I don't have to know who is backing them up. I just know that people are intentionally backing them up to push them to the next generation of traffic actors, right? Right. Okay. We can take over Yu Shuxing and Zhao Lusi's position. We want to do that. I mean, it's so like it doesn't even hide. It's like Trump doesn't even hide that he's basically manipulating the stock market of the United States, right? It's like the same thing. It's like we don't even want to hide, or we just like do it in your face. Look at us. I'm like, I've had enough of this. So like whether your performance is okay or not on its own, right, does not matter in this case because I can't look at it and think about it. Like I can't stay neutral because you're definitely not being neutral, like doing all the things that like so like don't blame audiences for like not taking the shit. And I was like, I can't deal with this. This is so shameless. It's such shameless behavior, and it makes it harder to watch his drama. So every time when her character shows up now and the part where like I just like I tune down the audio level and try to like get through it quicker. I don't want to pay attention to. Whether she personally is a nice or okay person, right, does not matter. It's like the things surrounding her and the effort that's been put into intentionally promoting is so disregarding 观感 of the normal people. It's like Capital just want to stuff our face and force us to fall in love with people we may not really like or hate to start with. We may just are neutral. Yet you're doing this so that I have to not like them. Because if I like them, I become what? You know, everybody has pride. And I can't deal with that. I'm like, this is so stupid. So for 大生意人, I just feel certain people's actions outside of the drama is too funny for me to pay due respect to the drama. Sorry. Unfortunately, Chen Xiao, you're the lead, but you just blame that you're not a girl and you're not 20-year-old. You're an old guy. And you don't have value anymore to Capital. Yeah. And I don't even have, like, I mean, Sun Qian is technically the female lead, although her screen time is like in chunks. Like she's here for a bit and she disappears, right? I mean, her performance is okay. Not too good, not too bad. I can deal with it. At least it's not like so weird as the other girl. Yeah, I know a little bit about Peng Xiaoran and author of that. that drama. They had a fight on social media. It's funny. But honestly, that's a stupid drama. I'm like, if it's a great dish and you fight over it, it kind of is somehow still worth talking. But it's like poop. To start with, like, what's the point of arguing over that? Like I said, if I am a person on that project, I don't want anybody to ever discover I've worked on it. It's an embarrassment on my work portfolio. If like I would wipe it out in the future if I tell people like what I've worked on this drama. I'm just not gonna tell people. All right, it never happened. Sorry, don't know what is that, because it's so bad. Why arguing over that? It's pointless. So that's 大声艺人 awkward. Only was good for a bit, and then boom. The Tencent lawyer drama, I'm waiting for it to finish, and if it's still overall like with a good kind of like performance or review from my friends, I will go and watch it. Because I don't want to watch it now because I know it's based on the variety show that they've done, which is like 令人心动的 offer, right? It's like a real intern variety show of law firm, like the best law firms. And they base the drama on that. So what happened on the variety show, they use that to do this drama. So it's a pretty cutthroat kind of drama to watch. And I was like, if it's overall not going to be very satisfying at the end, then I don't want to start it. I'm waiting for it to finish because I don't want to go into this high stress mode of watching cutthroat businesses, office job, or of people. It's going to get my blood pressure too high. And these are great young actors like He Landou, Hu Xianxu, Zhou Yiyuan. They can do good performances. So if it's actually really well written and high stress, I'm already like having other sources of stress. Maybe I'll just like put it off for a bit. Wait till people tell me. If it's all good, then I'll watch it. That's the All Rise 即刻上场 on Tencent that started airing on the 29th, led by Hu Xianxu, He Landou, Zhou Yiyuan. It's a intern of like the top level law firm story. Movie analysis. Raise the Lanterns. If I talk about Raise the Lanterns these days, it will be all in this sad mood of back in the days he could still make proper movie. Yet look at Zhang Yimou now. And I'm gonna so offend Zhang Yimou so that I can never, I don't know, work in Chinese movie making. Golden Rooster! So the Golden Rooster that happened 2 weeks ago, right? It was it was pretty bomb. And it's like the film and television has become such a self-entertaining circle. It's the people in the business congratulating each other happily, and not caring about they actually exist in the real world. And happily doing whatever game, money laundering, I don't know, kissing up each other's asses, being the artists they believe they are, when the world is actually quickly forgetting about their existence and AI is taking over, and content creators on their own do better jobs than a huge team of like so-called professionals that, I mean, they're gonna become so irrelevant in no time. Before they realize that, they're already on a sinking ship and there's no way of them getting out of it. It all looks like that. Golden Rooster is such an embarrassment this year that I was like... I just can't wait for the days where equipment like DJI can do those like drones so cheaply and giving such good visuals these days. Like AI that can make editing or like CG so easy. Even like manipulating of mouth so that a person can speak 10 languages in 10 different language versions with the right mouth movement in the same drama. I mean, I can't wait for the future where, I don't know, like everyone, like you and me, we can just do it on our own. We can make our own movie in our room. We don't need anything. We don't need, and it's better story. I don't know, like each movie can be sold as $1, but on whatever platform. And people want to pay, they pay and watch it. And it covers your cost so that we have better stories and less stupid people who's monopolizing the industry and giving us shit day in, day out. I mean, there are ways of basically go around that system now. And it's gonna be easier and easier. Do you know like there are like smaller content creators in China who do such great work that they are like better than proper film or television stations or like studio work, and they get huge subscription and plenty of money. People highly appreciate their quality. In China, the documentary maker right now, the craziest, I mean, they spend a lot of money to do it, but it's still small person team. It's like 10, 20 people on their team. And they spend like probably like hundreds of thousands to millions to do one video, one documentary, because they go to all countries in the world to film it, and it's a huge amount of job. But they put it out on like Bilibili on subscription, and they get millions and millions of views. And it's like, it covers their cost 10 times, sometimes at least 5 times, and they do great businesses. You know, like there are people like that. No, I mean, the guy like I'm talking about is like, he's from professional journalism background, used to be journalist, war zone journalist from CCTV. So he's got like plenty of connections in all places. And then he goes out and then he does his own, I'd call human landscape documentary. That's like the most accurate description of his work. Although it's mostly about food. Like food is always the cause, like the lead into a place, food. But then it's about life. All over the world, he's made like incredible stories in South American rainforest, drug maker den, to like South Korea, Japan, to Middle East. Pretty crazy stuff, and also within China. 视频道 is the person I'm talking about. If you know this guy, right? If anybody knows, you can type it out, or even like just share it on Billy. He's on Bilibili, and his documentaries are subscription based, but he also does ones that are free. So you can watch the free ones. You really like them, you can pay the like 30 RMB per month, which is like what, $4 per month. And his documentaries are like professional level. I mean, honestly, CCTV cannot make documentaries better than that. Like literally, it's like that good, and it's from very personal perspectives. And these people start to pop up everywhere. I mean, these like so-called established directors in film circles or whatever, like they're gonna be so irrelevant faster than they can imagine. And then recently I just found somebody who made criticism videos, 2 videos, first part and second part, on the Golden Rooster Best Picture winner, her story, that I actually went into cinema to see last November with a friend. And it got like weirdly so much praise when the movie came out, and because it's a very feminism kind of movie that if you criticize it, you get like bullied online so badly by all the feminism people that you can't say anything bad about it. And all you hear is praises. But honestly, my opinion always was, when I was watching the movie, like in the theater with my friend, I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Like we're looking at each other and being, seriously, this is a movie? Seriously, that is happening? Seriously, who had a great idea of putting that scene out? Why would you shoot it like that? Like, what is this scene? Like, what? We're like constantly like that. And we got out of the theater, and I told the person, I was like, do you know this movie is really well received on internet and people are like crazy about it? He's like, no way. I'm like, yeah. And I always had a lot of problems with this movie, okay? And nobody criticizes it, because if you do, you get murdered on China's internet. That's how bad it's been. Recently, I just saw a guy who made 2 videos, upper, lower part. One is just focused on the technicality of it, why it's not a proper movie, it's not cinema, and it's very poorly done. It's done by people who don't know anything about cinema, which I highly agree. And then the second part is more on the ideological angles of things and what is the deeper problems of this type of narrative. And I also was like, great, this guy. So a guy made it so that I don't have to make it and get murdered. Somebody is like brave enough to criticize this movie. Thank heavens. And for most of the stuff he says, I agree. In his videos, he's on Bilibili. Yes, somebody typed out 视频道 is the documentary channel on Bilibili. User Ni8NX7SY2K. You're typing the right name. This is the you can copy this and then go on Bilibili and find this creator. His documentaries are sick. Crazy. And aren't he's doing a better job than like 99.99% of professionals of CCTV. He's from CCTV, but he's probably the proper, like, knowing what he's doing, CCTV employees instead of the 关系 people. I just do it once a month for little, is it little ideas? Yeah, I do it once a month. Usually, right now it's like early, but it says from early to mid, some part of every month, and usually on a Thursday, usually. And this is the 72nd. Crazy. It's like not a, okay, it's not offensively bad thing, but it's you can barely call it a movie, because from a filmmaking standard, it has no cinematic language at all. The person who's doing it has no clue. Basically, you can hire an average cameraman and just tell this person cover everything from every angle. And you don't even have to direct, like go and like design a shot, and you can shoot this movie. That's what it looks like. Honestly, YouTuber, like the video making YouTuber, every famous video, like everybody who's got like more than, let's say, 200K subscribers can do a better cinematic job than this movie. This is how amateur it is. I mean, you don't even have to go to Peter McKinnon, like somebody who's that famous. You just go down a tier. It's like cut 10 out of the subscriber and find any camera person on YouTube. They can do better cinematic design than this movie can do. If on the basic level of being qualified as a movie, you can't even do the job. Does not matter how popular you are, how good the ideas are, or we can argue, because I don't think this movie is actually honest about women's circumstances at all. In reality, it's completely floating up there in the air. But if we take that out, just look at the technicality of things. Even that doesn't qualify. Like that threshold, you haven't gone like over it. You cannot be qualified as the best picture. Think about all the best pictures of any major film awards ever exist in this world. You may argue with whether it's a good idea movie, or whether it's great performances, or whether the message is like, Nora, for example, like you can argue whether it's like message-wise worth getting a best picture. But to some extent, you will have to say, like, it has to cross the barrier of like being cinematic, like the visual presentation, the sound design, the editing, the music, like on these sort of hard standard, basic, physically existing things of a movie, right? It has to get to a certain level to be called a proper movie. It didn't even get that, so everything else is irrelevant. I don't care if a lot of people like your movie or think it's great message and it's female directors with all the female characters. It's girl power. It's so DEI that like it's not a proper movie. So it gets Best Picture is a joke. Okay, it's a pure joke. And a lot of like plot happens for no good reason. Like you actually go watch it. It's like particularly like when the female lead was on the electric like two-wheel whatever like you call it. You know, like those things that you can buy that charges up and it's like on two wheels you can go like at the night and she's like walking around her neighborhood and helping our female supporting character. That whole plot happened out of nowhere. And it's so ridiculous. Like I can't fathom why it's there. Also, the whole montage sequence of the sound designer making the girl listen to the sound that's her mother working. I'm like, oh my god, it's so 矫情到死. I like my toes like scratching in my shoes, you know, trying to dig out a house. That's what I feel like when I not scooter, it's like two-wheel, you stand on it. What is that called? You stand on it, it's electrical powered and it takes you around. It's like balance, something like that. Balance something. I can't remember the English name of it. I don't own one, but it's one of those popular toys. Which one should won? I mean, last year probably. I mean, I would be okay if it's Last Dance, although I don't think it's also a very good picture either. But compared to others, it reads like a movie. At least it reads like a movie. You know what I mean? The Hong Kong one, Last Dance, about a girl like having problems with the dad who is owning the funeral business, and then the middle-aged man who was dealing with weddings, but people don't get married anymore, so he has to change to doing funerals. That one. Oh, really? Let's go hoverboard. Okay. I have no idea. 长安24季, I think so. It's coming out in December, I think. Most likely. The 诚意 one. 诚意 drama. These days, I find it's almost impossible for me to look at any 诚意 drama. I just couldn't take it too seriously anymore because he's got so... A couple of actors in Chinese drama land have become so addicted to 自摸 that I cannot look at their face for extensive period of time without laughing. It's my problem. Okay, I can't. Here's one. Luo Yunxi is one. There's like a couple of other. Like, they're so 自摸. And I don't know, like, is there an English word for 摸 or 自摸? I can't find one because Chinese is so so weirdly expressive in that I can't find a better English word for it. But I look at 诚意 and I immediately I go to the mode of like observing how he's gonna 自摸 in this one, and I'm in the meaning of it, it's often is like actors who self princess themselves, you know, because they know they have a targeted audiences who are looking for that. It's like a mutually agreed weird power play relationship. It's like the particular male actors who become extremely subscribed to the female gaze, and they happily subscribe to that and provide that value, and they entertain to that public image that they know their fans want, and to the point where they become so princess. Look at me, I'm so adorable. Look at me, I'm so cute. Look at me, oh, I'm so poor. they're all torturing me. Look at blood is coming out of everywhere. Look at my pink dresses and all the ornaments and it's extremely self. It's they're mo and 自摸. So mo is, for example, I, as a woman, I look at an idol, an actor, celebrity, a man, right? I fantasize and imagine them into this kind of submissive animal or girl or whatever like image, right? I play with it. And that's totally fine because it's a cultural thing. It is often happening to mass. So it is observable, and then it comes to this kind of, it's a public kind of like trend of things, of how you look at things. So that's more, but 自摸 is you become aware of people are doing that to you, and you know that gives you, it gives you value, it gives, like, it's a part of your value, but also it gives you benefit, literally. It's like, you subscribe to that, you entertain their fantasy, therefore you get literally monetary gains and whatever, fame and whatever, right? You actually can benefit from that. So you happily serve them. Although in reality, you may totally be not that kind of person at all. Or you can be like playing that role play for too long to the point you're actually completely becoming what people imagine you are. Anyway, that kind of, sometimes you overdo it, right? And it becomes, yeah. There are a couple of actors in Chinese popular idol dramaland who are so excessively 自摸 that I can't watch their performance. And also I see a trend, for example, of actors who have great potentials leaning towards that, and it's dangerous, and I hope it doesn't continue, but I can't help like what they decide to do with their own life. For example, Ding Yuxi. He's walking more and more towards that direction. That makes me worry. What kind of like 自摸? It's like, you know what people fantasize about you, and you intentionally make it bigger, more obvious, play with it because you know you can benefit from that. It no longer comes from the genuine sort of like, you become completely basically subscribe to other people's objectification of you. For example, Ding Yuxi, one of those tags during his years of like idol dramaland experience is like, people think he has this kind of very fragile quality that women like in idol dramas of a guy. Also, he has this very sensitive kind of like reception to the other person. So emotional expressions on his face always looks very well detailed, and he also has those eyes, right? People say like he has eyes that can love people. Anyway, those tags gradually get stuck on him to the point right now you can see the trace of when he's performing his characters, he's performing that set of expression, emotions that he's famous for. It becomes more important that he delivers that than actually being honest and authentic to his character in that moment. In the recent one, Fight for Love, you can see traces of that, more obvious than his other dramas previously, and that's not good trend. But that's from my observation, right? You can agree or disagree with me. Ding Yuxi has those tendencies of, now he's performing that set because he know if I intensely stare or I do that like expression, people are gonna have that reaction, which is wow, that expression on a guy's face is like what women, female audiences treasures, and he's doing it for the sake of people are gonna like it. And that creates a problem of acting, which is you fall into your own trap. You become completely regurgitating what you do, and you're gonna be further and further away from being a good actor. Ding Yuxi has that showing up now. But but he starts at a better place than a lot of people. I think he, like, there were days where he's not aware of that value he's providing, therefore he's just doing it because the character needs it. Now it's because whatever drama I'm in, I just have to do that because everybody likes it. I think that actually is not genuine and not the right way of doing a character and acting, and eventually it's going to backfire very badly, and it's also going to in a way destroy you if you keep doing it, right? You're going to eventually become not able to distinguish what you're doing, and then you become a bad actor. Non-traffic actor, it's hard these days. I mean, it's like even if you're a good actor, you barely get good script, and what can you do? You still are swimming in a pool of shitty scripts because the story themselves are not good enough. Not that many people are going to be interested in watching the story, so whatever you do in those dramas, nobody is going to see it. For male actors, it's you know, so for female, it's almost never a problem because traditionally women on screen are the being seen, are the objects, are, you know, the object of desire, the thing that's being watched, whether it's the high heels or the stockings, all the shots up from your leg all the way, right? Think about the classic Hollywood movies and all that. Women always have been observed and being seen. So that is not really, because it comes with movie from day one. Men, on the other hand, actually are different. The contemporary popular culture of Asia, in Japan, Korea, China, these places, where the idol industry starts to show up, is basically giving women the opportunity to do the same to men that the men have always been doing to women in the visual medium world. And it's interesting to see like people, how basically gender is often a social construct, right? You're put in the position of a woman, you become a woman. And you even internalizes it, and you even subscribe to it, and because you can benefit from it, and you actually willingly, self-voluntarily do more of it. These actors who are, you know, 摸自摸 is doing that. It's really interesting. Yeah, so much so for, so Dramaland can also show that side of human nature, right? Very real. And most people who are doing it are not even aware they're like doing it. But you do it because you're in that position. Recently, what I have been having fun with, I know like the Zootopia thing has had the second movie. I haven't seen it. I've seen like really interesting criticisms from like different sides of it. Chinese version got dubbed by Chinese actor that got like really criticized because it's bad dubbing work. But I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't want to go out. Look at the weather. It's like not human to walk out. What else? Oh, and then recently just finished. I was like actually following the guy who's a political commentator on YouTube, very famous, like Hassan. He was just like, he was traveling in China, and he was like there for half a month, and he came back before like American Thanksgiving at the end of November. Anyway, when he was in China, he was twitching, right? And I was like watching his live stream, and I was just like, I was so jealous of him being in Chongqing and eating all the food. So that was the only part I was like, ah. It's funny, like they were eating the things in Chongqing. I'm like, that. They're pretty brave in testing these things out. Yeah, I was watching that just for looking. Oh, and panda. They went to see panda and red panda. I think in some places you can actually pet red panda, but it's like a really rare places. I never done it. I would love to pet a red panda. Giant panda, probably not, because giant panda, they couldn't possibly be good to touch, because giant bears have really coarse fur. But I think red panda probably is very nice. Are you going to watch Avatar 3? There's Avatar 3? I haven't even seen Avatar 2. That's how unengaged I am with that. Go. There's so many pandas with like cute names. The triangle one is like one of the most famous one because she's a dwarf, I think. Like she has genetic mutation, so she's like a triangle. Hua is that? I love that panda. What else? We can talk about game a little bit. Anybody playing that? Yeah, 视频道. Somebody typed it out earlier. The user Next7SY2K typed out earlier. 视频道. Because I don't type. Reason being, I'm on the stream software. If I turn on YouTube one, it often like jitters my stream for some reason, and my uploading speed is really bad where I am, which is ridiculous. But somehow this internet is shitty at that, so I don't type it out. But earlier, the one with the profile picture pink M, white character M, typed out the channel name, 视频道. He's a really great documentary maker. Better than like 99% of people who actually work for a state-owned television station. If I write it on, you can copy it. How are you gonna? You have to type Chinese characters unless you know how to type it. Earlier, just go back to the chat. You will find, I think, the 3 characters: food, poverty, way. You can't really translate it that way. But anyway, 视频道, 视 SHI, 平 PIN, 道 DAO. Yeah. Droid, like I can't pronounce it, but somebody just typed it. This guy used to be a Warzone journalist for CCTV, I think, and then he left, and then he started his own business, and now he's famous for making his documentaries. He's made some crazy shit documentaries. Last year around this time, he released one episode where he was in South America, and he actually got able to go into the drug making den in the rainforest, shoot and shot the process of how it got made. Obviously, they got like connections, and then they all get blindfolded and transported into the place. So when they got it there, they don't know where they are. And all the workers who are processing the leaves, they were all covered. Their faces completely covered, so you can't know who they are. Because technically they are being hunted down by the police of the local, because they're drug makers. And so they were following the whole process of how you harvest, how you treat it in the pool of really disgusting piss and stuff. And he peed in the pond because he's like, we're anti-drug. And then he filmed the whole process of how they actually turn that thing into powders and make them into bricks, and getting the transporters out of that forest to United States. and how it gets like priced up like so much once it gets delivered there. He filmed the whole process. Like, I don't know how he got the connections, but he managed to connect with both the drug dealers in the mountains and also the anti-drug policemen down the mountains. Filmed both sides, and it's like wacko. Like, how can you make a drug making documentary like that? Like, Chinese people, you know, a Chinese team going into, and that whole episode was like mind blown. And because it's anti-drug, it's so sensitive, they had it on free so that you don't have to be a subscriber to watch it. And it's like, that's better drama than any drama could ever do. That's how good his documentaries are. And he has like extensive documentaries of a lot of places in the world that will shock you. But anyway, if you're interested, this is a great, although like it's all in Chinese. That's the problem. If you don't know Chinese, you can't understand. And it's all in Chinese too. Why is he still single? Yes, it's charming, but I kind of watched it and forget about it. Because it's one of those dramas you probably would not remember it for long, but while you're watching it, you're having fun. Because it's so like, it's so murder by words, right? Like, everybody is killing each other, another person, with their words. They're sharp, very quick, very cruel, and brutal and honest commentary on everything. It is like one of those, like, people sit down and then they argue till the end of the day, but every line is a slaughter kind of drama. So why is he still single is very suited for Huo Jianhua as an actor, I have to say. And it's really fun when you're watching it. But once you put it down, right, it's like you don't have to really remember it or keep it in your mind for any more time. It's just at the moment you had fun. It's that type of drama. If you want this kind of a like quick fire of words that are just like so honest and cruel, fun at the same time, you can watch that. It's like constant murder by language. Yeah, because there's a Japanese version, there's also a Korean version. I think this is a Chinese version. I have to be honest, is usually when you have Japanese Korean versions and you have a Chinese version is worse, because overall standard of production is very embarrassingly, awkwardly bad for Chinese dramas for a lot of reasons. In SK, at least I think it's very, very streamlined and very industrialized, although they're having bad times these years. Japan also has a pretty, I mean, overall they have like a higher standard of like the basic requirement of being a drama. Visual, camera, editing, all that, color, lighting, all those things. Chinese drama often is like completely disregarding that, and a lot of people don't know anything about it, and then they go into the industry and work, so it's all a mess. On very basic levels, a lot of like productions in China can't even qualify for that. Yeah. In one drama, how people together, I can't wish that, because it's so pointless to wish that. Usually when I see two people physically look very much like each other, I would want them to play siblings. Because for once I could believe on screen that you are her sister, you are her brother, you are the dad, you are the kid. Because 99% of the time people don't look alike at all. And it's like, yeah, but I don't believe it. If it would be great if like it could be people actually physically looking like they could be coming from the same genetic tree, that would be cool. But that's just me. And then F3, I actually don't really hope for it now, because first, the industry is not doing very well at all, and long-form period dramas are too expensive to make. Zhengwu is also not doing very well. Also, Zhengwu has been doing a couple of things in recent years that makes me really like go. I feel I feel it's not a couple of, like, it's not 10 years ago. It's not when they made the first NIF. Back then, it's a different world and they probably are in a different position and kind of resources and people. Now, if you give Zhengwu opportunities to make it, whether it's still gonna be a good drama, I don't know. And wait for the Yang one, the Zhanzhao, comes out and see if that one actually is watchable. If that as a wuxia period is good, then you can still have hope for an IF3 to be good. Otherwise, I would be not hoping too much. You know, like the one, Wu Lei, the drama only just started shooting, right? And just posted one video, and immediately under that video, there were so much hate comment. You wouldn't believe. Book fans hating it and boycotting it and saying it cannot be made into a drama. That's like today in Chinese drama land. The one. Yeah, the one. There was so much like anti the one be made comment. That's how the world we live in. Beautiful. Yeah, I already said at the beginning of this stream, I'm not gonna watch the Second Chance Romance because they offended me by blocking my video just because I put a trailer and a tiny part of the trailer in my video. I'm like, okay, stupid, goodbye. Okay, so if anybody needs me to say that for the second time, I'm not watching a drama because it offended me. I hate it. I'm that shallow and vengeful. Yang, Yang. Oh, Dear Enemy. Yeah, I know that one came out. Oh, yeah. I actually know that one. Go Ye. So many dramas. So many dramas to watch and I can't even bring myself to do it. Guess what? Because I'm playing games. So let's talk about, let's talk about like half an hour about Where Winds Meet. So this game came out end of 24 in China. I know it because it was quite popular for the first couple of months. There were a lot of videos being made and people talk about it, but I don't have a PC like at the time, right? So I couldn't play it. I know it has mobile version, but I'm not doing it on a tiny phone. So I know the game has been existing for a long time. And it's only this year, a year later, that they put it on international server stuff, like so you can do it on Epic, Steam, and yeah. I initially downloaded the Chinese version on Wangyi. It's actually 60 gigs bigger than the Steam version. Guess what? Because it's bigger, it has more maps, right? After a year. But then for some reason, my computer wouldn't run it. I tried. And it completely quits on me. So I had to delete it and it did the Steam one. And then I realized probably it's my BIOS because my BIOS is just a month not updated and it's like already giving me shit. So I updated my BIOS. It was better, but then still wasn't really working. And until I actually took off the Expo on my BIOS, on my yeah, it's ridiculous. But basically CPU GPU thing is weird for my computer. If you turn on, because I have the AMD CPU plus the graphics of NVIDIA. And anyway, if you turn on the Expo, which is XMP, I think for the other processor, it will just not run the game. Guess what? It will completely quit on you 20 seconds after you open it. You have to actually turn it back to not having it on, and then it works. It's like, So what's the point of having supercharged power of your computer if you put it on and your computer doesn't do anything? I mean, haha, love it. Because I tried to figure it out and I updated everything. I tried to, like, my computer is new. It has nothing in it apart from a couple of games. So it couldn't really have problems and it's all good. And I'm not a computer science guy. I have no idea what's going on. I'm already doing my best trying to, like, put a PC together by myself. So it's like, why? And because when I put this PC together, the guy set it up with the expo turn on, and then so I was like scouring internet and like, are people quit, like, it crashes and it quits on you like for like after a minute. I was like, are people having problems with Where Winds Meet, and you know, like on China's forum and stuff and everywhere. And there's one person in one post said you cannot turn that on. You turn it on, it crashes. It's for his computer. I'm like, okay, let me try. I turn it off. Guess what? It can run now. But I already deleted the NetEase version, which is the Chinese version, and put the Steam version on, because I was initially trying to see if it's the Steam version that will run normally, but the Chinese version wouldn't, and the Steam version also quits like after a minute. Okay, so I turn it off on the in the BIOS, and guess what? It runs, and it never quits on me, like never even once. After like at this point, I'm like, okay. So what's the point of having that function to start with? Supposedly it makes your computer perform better, but actually it makes it not able to run. No, because it's so specific. It's about that, like not every game quits on me. That's also awkward because I have other games that runs okay. So I don't know, like it's actually that setting. And you have to be like, I don't know, like, next time I could try AI, but this time I tried Xiaohongshu, and like in many posts, people say do this, do that, and there's this one person is saying like that's the problem. It's like, yeah, okay, because mine is turned on, I know, so I turned it off, and guess what? It's working. Supposedly when you turn it on, it runs like better. It's like supposedly making the RAM and everything like perform higher, but actually it's just like totally fucking up the game. Guess what? So that means I'm on the international server because I deleted the NetEase version and don't want to download another 150 gig. But that also means I don't have the maps that Chinese servers have. They have the desert, the snow, the grassland. They have Bujianshan, which came out like in October or something. Anyway, it looks cool, but it's not gonna get updated on international later. I think it's also because they're trying to fix the bugs and also translate all the future stuff, because there's a lot of translation work. Every time you add a new map, right, you have to basically in copy and in voice acting get all the things done in languages. It's like a huge amount of work. I don't know how to stream gaming. You're asking too much for me. I don't even know if my computer can do it. Because if I'm streaming my playing, I would have to have first like what's going on my playing game computer going, but then I would have to connect that right to another computer that's streaming that. And I have to go on YouTube and search for tutorials to tell me how to do game streaming. And I'm such a bad game player. You have no idea. It would be so embarrassing. And also game streaming. It's like, from Avenue X. It's like branch off. I mean, I could try to look it up, but I have no idea if I can do it. I feel like it's so much work. Because I have to, if you want to stream, like, actually see my face, right? I would have to have a camera covering my face. And then I would have to have a way, probably wouldn't be ideal to run it on the same computer in terms of the streaming software and the gaming at the same time. Like, I don't know how you do it. But you need a full screen, right? So you need another computer, right? Is it? You need another computer to do the streaming. You need one to play the game. You need a camera to capture you. I can't even imagine how messy that setup is gonna look, and I have to go and search how to do it. It probably will be super complicated. On my end, at least, for me. Okay. And then I can't imagine how I'm gonna do when I'm playing a game and being watched. You don't know how rage I get when I can't pass a boss. I'm like hating Tianying now because I can't get through him. Every time in the third phase I get killed by him. I try to not let the sand people, because he creates 3 sand people who come out, and when they come out it's a mess. I don't want them to come out, and I know there's a way, like people say, like if you keep him under control, there's a way of not letting those 3 people come out, but I couldn't do it. Every time I get killed by those 3 people. And I'm like, ah! No, it's not funny. It's ugly. People are gonna keep a video record of that and then laugh at me in the future. Rage play. It's gonna be so testing on me. I can't do it. Carry it through Tianying. I caught 1 helper once, I think. I tried Goose also once, but Goose kind of couldn't do much. I couldn't even notice where Goose is, because when Goose came over and he the Goose disappeared in 2nd phase or 3rd, just they're not there. I asked the blind guy once, and he's pretty useful early on, but also it's odd. I'm not gonna go viral, trust me. There's so many players of this game, and I'm so bad at the game. I literally only started playing this kind of games. Previously was only Sims and building houses for me. That's the only game I play. Okay. Or city planning. It's ages ago, and not even in recent time. So last year, because of Black Myth Wukong, I started to have a controller and a PS5. That's the first time I started to play games, okay? So I'm shitty at it, and I'm not 12-year-old, okay? I haven't started it early and I'm too old, so my reaction time is just not good, okay? It's not gonna get practiced and get that much better, because it's physically, biologically impossible now. So I'm pretty shitty at it. But I mean, I can grind. So I did grind through the whole Black Myth Wukong, but it wasn't, easy. I also grind through Ghost of Yote, which is, if you don't do the extreme difficulty, it's doable. As long as you don't do extreme difficulty. I wish Ghost of Yote had Game Plus when I started playing it. When I finished it, I had all the weapons, all the skills, yet there's no enemies to kill because it's no Game Plus. I was really bombed out. And then they had a release on the 24th where it allows you to do Game Plus now after the whole thing. So you have the full set of everything and you can still beat all the enemies. But then that was after this game came out, and I've already played this game, so I don't have any energy and also interest in keeping the Yote. So the Yote, I downloaded the Game Plus version and I haven't tried it after I got through it. And then for Where Winds Meet, is the actual fighting thing is I find it's even harder to do than Ghost of Yote or Black Myth, because a lot of those flashy thing is very distracting. I can't see what the other person is doing often. It's I can't see their move. It's all the light and flashes, and I don't know where to block because I can't even see it. Also, it has weird camera angle locking sometimes. I get pushed into a corner and something I can't see. I am beaten by people. I hear it, but I can't see where the person is. They're literally outside of my range, and I got stuck in the animation or the corner and can't jump out. It happens so often. It's I get stuck somewhere and can't get out. So for this game, I feel like they have a lot of those corners they haven't really done carefully, so that you end up your model, your character gets stuck in it and it can't get out. It's so annoying. I'm probably not streaming is because I have no idea how to do it. Do you know how complicated it is? It's like, I'm not a professional streamer. I don't know how to do it. This is like a computer, a camera setup. That's it. And I'm looking at my streaming software on my screen, right? And it connects the chat into the screen so I can look at it. That's it. But if I have streaming, I have another computer I'm playing game at. And I have to connect that to this one, and also the camera to this one, and the sound. And then because it's usually long, it's not gonna be 1 hour, so I have to make sure everything is on power, so it's not on battery and it doesn't die on me. Like just think about that, my brain is exploding. I'm not a professional streamer. I have no idea how you do it. And also, like, yeah, I have no idea about like gamers streaming, like what is the culture of it. I have no clue. I haven't really watched many people streaming they're playing anyway. I'm assuming like in the gaming world there's a lot of weirdos. And pretty much like Chinese drama watcher and gaming people don't really overlap that much. Oh, because like gaming streaming is toxic, really? Okay. Lots of weirdos. Do people usually just stream on Twitch if they're doing gaming? I'm guessing it is, because I see a lot of like, if people are like their videos right of their streaming, it's always looking like the Twitch comment thing flying on the end, like on the side. Some on YouTube? Probably most on Twitch, right? I'm just guessing, because I look at a lot of like those clips, they're all Twitch like look. But it's recorded, not live. Twitch is most popular, but waiting for big streamers can be better money and something. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if people are shouting abuse, I don't care, because I've been 问候 the 7,000 comments before. I'm like, okay, cool. I mean, fandoms is pretty toxic too, and I have grown a skin where I don't care. You can say anything. I don't give a shit. So, usually that's it. But I'm so bad at playing it, really. Like, you should see how bad I'm at, for example, jumping. Constantly dying in places where I cannot double jump, or triple jump, or jump, like, fast enough. I'm so bad at jumping. I'm so bad at basically fighting any bosses. In this game, in Where Winds Meet, what can I do best? I'm trying to think. Which one is like the only game that I can play that actually doesn't fit? Oh, the fishing. The fishing is good. Fishing I always can do. 射负 is too, even for me, it's too much, because you're talking to AI and trying to guess what it is. It's a nightmare. I tried once and I gave up on it, because all the 射负 game is, you actually have to be like have a Wikipedia. Because I came up to a guy and I'm trying to guess what is the plant, and he's telling me it's a shrub. It's a small shrub that is green all seasons. I'm like, yeah, but there's so many. Like, how am I supposed to know which plant? And I have to look out the answer, the cheat online, and it says Huangyang. I'm like, okay, but there could be another 10. I mean, how am I supposed to guess within the time, like, which plant it is? Chess and bad too, like Chinese chess. I did it once. I did win, but then I was like, I don't want to keep playing this, because I'm pretty much like definitely doomed. I'm definitely gonna fail. I know the rules about Chinese chess. It's much simpler and then not as time consuming as international chess, but I'm still shitty at it. I'm like so bad at doing any of those. Oh, and also even playing the music thing. Because initially I used the controller to do the music, and I realized it's a stupid idea to do that. You should do it with your keyboard. It's so much easier, but still I'm not perfect and I can't do it very well. But at least it's doable. If you're trying to do controller and do the music thing, you're gonna die. It's so unimaginably hard to do it because your brain cannot really compute this to the 6 dots, right? It's like in this when you have a controller and your brain just like doesn't know where it should be doing it. And anyway. But for the shooting arrows is also you have to use a keyboard and the mouse, because if you use controller, you can't shoot arrows fast enough. It doesn't happen. It doesn't aim. But then if you're fighting people, using controller gives you the tactic kind of like tactile response. And if you're doing keyboard, you can feel it. If you're doing controller, it actually vibrates. Like I like the feeling. It feels quite nice when you're shooting people. It's like ta 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 ta. But if you're on your keyboard, you can't feel it. But then you also have to change the key position, because if you want to use the umbrella in this game, you actually have to change the light attack to the side, to the shoulder button. Otherwise, you can aim. Like this is so ridiculous. If you're playing it, you know what I'm talking about. Next Faker, best player in esports. I need to reincarnate now to be a good streamer of games like in 8 years time. This body is not gonna do it, you know? You know reaction time like slows down as you age, and it's just a fact. Never gonna be as fast as quick as the new brain and new body of the young people. Mahjong, I also don't like it. Like, although I'm from Sichuan region, I know, but I don't like playing it. It's odd, I know. My classmates used to be like all looking at me weird, because sometimes even in high school, like during Chinese New Year, they were actually playing Mahjong, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And I'm just like, I'm totally stupid looking at it. And I've got classmates who are geniuses who do full score at mathematics, right? And they play Mahjong at the speed you would not believe. Like I've seen 4 people who are my high school classmates who all get like 150 of their math score and 150 of their physics, and who are in Olympia like competition or mathematic competition team of whatever. And you watch them play Mahjong, it's like 3 times fast forward of watching dramas. The speed at which they're throwing the tiles out is like, slow down, people. And in no time, they've gone through the whole thing, and they remember everything. It's like they have super brains, so they can anticipate and guess like who's thrown out what, so who's got what left, so they're doing what, and they're completely like looking at 3 other people at the same time and remembering everything. And I'm like, goodbye. No, I'm the untalented one in that group, and I've been so educated by super clever people in my life where I'm just like, we're genetically different. Okay, I agree. Can play Mahjong. I know the rules, but I'm really bad at playing it. Yes, I still practice my guqing. That. I usually do 3 hours live, so this is nothing. Don't... Okay, JJ. I'll tell you one thing. I have a huge light in my face. That's why it looks okay. If I turn it off, you will see how bad my skin is. I never had good skin. I never will, because it's genetic. I've done genetic testing, and I actually have highly what they call like hormonal like caused like acne. I've always had acne since adolescence. I've never had one day without one. That's how bad it's been. My whole life, every day, at least I have one. And that's just, it is. So I don't have good skin. If you're thinking it's good skin, it's because there's a bright light. It's eating out all the details. That's it. I don't have good skin. I have makeup on me. If you see me like taking off all the makeup, you see like how many like scars of like acne I have. I still have ongoing ones, exploding ones here and there, and I don't have good skin. And it never is gonna happen to me because it's genetic, and it's coming most likely from my dad because he doesn't have good skin either, and my mom has really good skin, and she completely didn't want to give that to me. She was very selfish at giving birth to me on that point where she didn't give me any of those good genes. My mother never had one acne in her whole life. She doesn't know what it feels like. That's how bad it is. How jealous I am. Because she's a doctor, right? So when I was little, like I sometimes have like those cysts on my ear, right? You grow a huge one on your ear and it's really painful. So she would deal with it for me. And she would be like, I've never had this experience. I don't know what it feels like. I'm like, shut up! You've never had acne, like tip of your nose, edge of your lip, right? Like chin. Like there are a couple of positions when you have acne, they hurt like hell. Ear also, ear, right? These couple of like behind your ear, like on the these parts of your ear, a couple of worse places like inside of your nostril, yes, edge of your lip, right? These places hurt so much, it ruins your day if you cannot get it like out of the way. And my mom is like, I have no idea what it feels like. She's got a whole life never having one spot. She doesn't have acne. Her genes. So don't ask me skincare routine. I cannot give you any advice. I can tell you whatever I use, I always have acne. No matter what I do. Huh? I think ultimately it's really decided by your hormone and your genetic tendency. If you have that coding, there's very little you can do on the outside. No, she eats like normal human. She doesn't like spicy things, yes, but she still just eats normal things, you know, like nothing special. We eat together. We don't have like special diet for my mom. Yeah. Somehow I ended up talking about that. But anyway, I will look it up, but I may, if it's too complicated, I can't do it. If you haven't tried this game, you should give it a try, see if it's a cup of tea. The easiest way to describe this Where Winds Meet or 烟云十六声, I mean, the Chinese name actually gives you more information, which is really interesting. The Chinese name 烟云十六声 is based on 烟云十六州. 十六州 is 16 provinces, you can think about that, which is a part of the land that got basically cut out of China and given to the northern powers. And during the Song dynasty, that was the case. And it was a pain for a lot of collective consciousness and memory of Chinese people. This thing got taken, this part of the land, right? And it didn't got back to China until Ming, which is in the 17th century. So right now we're in the 11th century, I think. 11th, like in the game setting, 11th or 10th. So there's another couple of hundred years after 燕云十六州 got back to China. So that's a part of the land of, you know, that was missing from this point, which this game is set in 五代十国, which is after Tang, before Song, or like just about Song is just established. Chinese name therefore is 燕云十六. Sheng is the sound of the 燕云十六, you can think about that way. And I think NetEase people have said it's likely the game is gonna eventually run until 燕云十六州 come back to China, which would mean it will run in the game's timing for hundreds of years. At least I think that's their plan, because based on the title, it looks like that. If it's called 燕云十六声, why, you know, the official ending of this story and the world would be after it came back, which would be hundreds of years later. Now, in the Where Winds Meet, full Chinese, okay, somebody, yeah, it's Tang Dynasty. Good, they've got a word speaking English. I only recently found out Zhou Keyu speaks perfect English. Yeah, I'll come back later. I need to do something. Just give me a moment. He came back. So earlier we were talking about the title. Now there's one like guess, like people's prediction of if the game runs smoothly for years, how you're gonna get the character living for hundreds of years until Ming came around. One reason is in the so far game there is a sort of like interpretation of who this leading character is that you're playing, either as a girl or a boy. You're the baby in the loading screen, and why this baby gets protected and get carried away by our couple of lead characters. One of the interpretation online that's popular right now I've watched is talking about basically there was an experiment ongoing about like living forever, and it's like a genetic modification of ancient time and whatever people were trying, and there's the likelihood that our main character who you're playing is an experiment. And that's the only possible way for this character to live hundreds of years and not dying if the game is going down that route of eventually Yan Shiliuzhou is going to come back. But obviously that's just an open kind of like line that's left there. If the game fails in a couple of years, then they can't keep making new stuff, and it never got to the point of Ming Dynasty, then it's never gotten to the point of Ming Dynasty. So that doesn't come from the English title where Winged Meat has none of that information in it, but Chinese title is kind of hinting this might be the route they want to go down on. We shall wait and see. Yeah, so this is the closest thing I think for international players too to get as a it will get released on mobile. I think you can share the same account, but also on PC game that you play in an open world setting where you can cosmetic design your character however you like, and it's based on the wuxia tradition. So you basically role play a wuxia person from 0 skill to master, learn all kinds of skills here and there, do all the things doable in a real world. And also you can do it play just as a single player, but you can also get online with your friends and do quests together, team and fight and do other weird things, whatever. Like you can create guild in this game. I think you can join groups and yeah, and it's not pay to win, it's pay to look badass. So if you want to put money, which you exchange as a currency in the game, in the pearl thing, right? You can buy basically cosmetics like hairstyle, hair color, costumes, rides, like mount. So you can buy horse, you can buy goose to ride, you can buy a cat, I think in the future. Huskies right now, like on international servers. And Chinese servers has more because Chinese has 1 year ahead. So it has more maps and more stuff. They have new weapons that we don't have right now on international server yet. The most ridiculous thing is they have so many weird mounts on a Chinese server, like literally running, like super speed running. So you're not riding a horse, you're running yourself, but your leg becomes invisible almost, like it's like you're running like that in the game. That you have to pay money for it. It's just ridiculous. But you cannot pay money to have like weapons other people cannot have to fight. You can pay like battle pass to give you like advantage, give you more resources basically for you to level up quicker. Because every time you level up, like whether it's your weapon or your wuxia skill or like magic skill, whatever, it needs like different things. Like how many of this stone, how many of that leather, how many of those things. And if you don't have them, you have to either go buy them or you have to go search for them, hunt down, like harvest them in the world. And if you can do those things, you pay a little bit money, you can get those easier. So you don't have to do the chore. But that's the only difference, I think, between paid and not paid players. So you can have the full sort of gaming without paying anything. And every money, like every cent you spend is just for making yourself look better. So I so far haven't spent anything on this game. I'm just waiting, because all the costumes, right? Actually, all the paid costumes, I think they look so web gamey-ish. You know, like it's like all the flying bits and glowing bits and colors and like I actually think they look really ridiculous and cheap, and it breaks the magic of wuxia, because wuxia is still real world. Like, although people fly, they don't have like glowing costumes, you know. They live in real world where clothes are made with cotton or linen or like silk. It's not like plastic iridescent material. And all those like really beautiful paid costumes are so over the top. Like, to me, they look so odd. And I actually prefer not having those costumes. So the game gives you quite a few really okay, normal human looking like costumes that I can totally deal with. So I have little motivation to spend money. Also, like the weapons, it's like, yeah, okay. Like, it's still the same weapon, just looks different. I don't necessarily need it. Chinese web novel book. No, I don't read web novel. I'm such a boring person. I know, I'm too old. Never was in the web novel thing. Yeah, I don't read web novel. So I cannot recommend anything. I find if you have to write something like without really full planning and editing, and then get the whole thing done and then put it out to people, I can't deal with that. I feel like I maybe have some kind of JP in my. I feel like if you write, whether it's a short essay or a novel, right? You have to write it and you have to revise and revise and revise and figure out things, and until you feel it's a fully like good work, and then you release it. If you're writing every day and you don't necessarily even know how it's gonna end, for web novels usually it's like that. It's for like millions of characters. I'm like, it's like putting out diarrhea and let the whole world eat it. I feel like that's just not very healthy of consuming words. I can't deal with it. So I don't read web novels. And if I see any like grammatic mistakes and stuff, like I instantly get put off. Sorry, that's me. So I cannot be a very qualified web novel consumer. Yeah. So if you haven't tried the game, I highly recommend you give it a try. If you have, PC that can run it. Probably need a not too bad a PC. And then they will launch a mobile version too, but the mobile version usually looks a lot more downgraded visually than the computer version. And so in this world, if you haven't played it, I'll quickly introduce to you. You make up a character, you have a lifetime story, but then once you get set on your journey, after the first couple of main things you have to do, then you're open to whatever you want to do. It's a lot of things. It's not exactly like real life, but it's close enough. You can do so many things, and there's so many things you need to do. So honestly, if you want to know the full mechanics of the game and know where you're going, you probably need, depending on different people, I'd say 60 to 100 hours before you can say, okay, I know what I'm doing, or I know where everything is, or I know what I'm not missing one part. There are parts I intentionally left out of this game because I wasn't doing the online like group things. So all the group things I wasn't doing. Occasionally I go on the multiple player thing to just throw vegetables at criminals, or go on the boat when somebody is suddenly like paying extremely huge amount of money to buy the boat and have fun on the boat. That's the only kind of thing I do. I don't really do much like group kind of like fight stuff. But you need a lot of time. And in this game you can do everything. You go around, you collect plants and crickets and all the interesting things. You can eventually collect these things to make into other things, or give to the person to upgrade some of your abilities. Then you have enemies to fight, little enemies you come across on the street, or actually collect like a points, like you go and fight and you take it down and you take rewards. You have bosses, all types. Those are just in fighting. And right now the international server has 2 major maps, but there are more to come. And one is like more on the countryside. The other is very city. It's based on the North Song capital city. And it's just like everything. You come across cats, you can pet them, they give you stuff. You come across cats, you do games with them, they give stuff to you. You can make your own arrows, you make your own medicine, you can build houses, like find the land and then build yourself a house. Yes, you can do that. You can be a bounty hunter. You can, when you get sick, you can ask other people to heal you, or you go to a place to get healed. It's like very realistic, like life. You can rent apartment, although like I never done it. You can go to a spa and get massaged by other players. Yeah, it's like everything. And there's so much you can do in this game, and it has couple of like major style of wuxia that you can pick. You can use sword, you can use a heavier saber, you have umbrella, you have fan, you have like a what is that called? You have spear, you also have the rope and dart. And it has like really interesting mechanisms of how it works. It's so much stuff. Like you basically become a wuxia person that you have to basically deal with it yourself. And it has insane amount of menus. You go to menu, like there's like a huge like page of all kinds of buttons. You click into one, there's like more. You click into one, more. And just to familiarize yourself with where they are, what they do, how you get rewards from them, where you need to click into, like where. You need 60 hours at least. Otherwise, you don't even know where to find everything. This is how crazy this is. This game has so many things. I mean, like, I think IGN gave it like a 6, right? And then this person played like 15 hours of it. I'm like, you barely know how to even do it. 15 hours is not enough. It's a single player game. Maybe you know a lot. For this game, 80% of the game you haven't like even know where to click open the menu to get to if you only have 15 hours. This is crazy. This is the most complicated, like at least for me. I only started playing game last year, right? But this is the most complicated UI menu system I've seen. Like it's everywhere. It's like so. I still have problems of trying to find things because sometimes I need to do that, and I can't remember which part of the menu I have to go to search for that thing. It's like that complicated. Yeah, like if you 10 hours, you barely know where you are. You haven't done anything. It's like there's so much you need to do. Yes. Yes, it happens to everyone. You need like 50, 60 hours to actually be able to pretty confidently know where you need to go to find everything. Otherwise, you find it once, you never find it for the second time until 20 hours later. And this game has like, yeah, NPC. Some NPCs are interactable, not everyone, but some of them, when you interact with them, you can literally type in what you want to say and the AI reply you with expressions. They will have brackets and it will say they are laughing or they're like looking at you in what way, and then they say the lines. Yeah, you're asking too much for these people, right? It's more important for them to have power instead of actually caring about games. And also, like, this game truly is not easy to fully understand what it is until like after at least 50 hours, really. And even that point, you still don't know a lot of it. I still have things I don't know. Like, I haven't done a lot of those group things, so I have no idea how it works. I've seen people doing it. I'm like, I'm not doing that because I'm such a bad fighter. If I join a group, I'm just gonna murder everybody on my team. Like, my presence there is not gonna help anyone. It's just gonna make it worse. Somebody is just up. Yeah, well, hi. Good. Not bad. Hope the weather could be better. It's a bit cold and snowy. Yeah, so if you haven't tried, I am a healer. I think I put most of my 营生手册 the book into developing, because you can be a healer or like 2 professions, right? I mostly put that, but it needs so many books to upgrade. And yeah, the healing actually is pretty fun. It's a card game, basically. The healing is a card game. The argument is not a card game. The argument thing is really a reaction time thing, because you're basically pushing out all the cards as fast as you can and then reacting to people as fast as you can. You don't even read what you're saying. It's all flying on the screen. You have no time to see it. Yeah, what else? Yeah, there are a lot of cats. If you like cats, there are a lot of cats, and they're all petable. And for the first time you pet them, they will give you stuff. There are a lot of cats. And they actually go on a record. Like how many cats you've pet and what's their name and what they look like. There's literally a record they can go through of all the cats you've petted. I used to love to review dramas. I'm like okay to do it. I mean, reviewing something, I don't think it's necessarily you love or not love it. You can only love a drama or not love it. You cannot love reviewing it or not, right? Reviewing it is not necessarily a love or not love thing. It's like a commentary thing. I like a drama. I can like a drama and not review on it. I can not like a drama and review on it. So it's not necessarily liking or not liking. I can only like a drama or not like a drama. Yeah. This year isn't very good. I mean, genuinely, I had so much fun and really enjoying dramas are only a few. Filter is one. Dream Within the Dream is one. Others, there are a few more, but they're like less. Like I have to sit down and look at my record and then remember which one I think I have a good opinion on, but they don't leave long-lasting impression on me. This year has overall been a little bit boring. Even like the Strange Tales 3 is like, okay, it's not bad, but I like when it's done, it's done. I don't even want to say do an edit on it. Yeah, also it's really ridiculous. Last time when I did the edit of the 2nd season of Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, you know Yang Zhigang, right? The actor, Su Wuming, who actually came under my, and left a comment there. Because he watched it and he said it's a really good edit. And I was like, oh, nice, you show up for my edit. And guess what? Aichi took it down. On Bilibili, my edit on the 2nd season of Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty got taken down by Aichi because of copyright. So what can you say? Chinese drama land 不值得. Guardian people from 2018, you know the character, right? And the word 值得. So Chinese drama land 不值得. Totally 不值得 at all. This year is gonna so I don't know, like yeah, I mean December I have to make final review on everything or summarizing, but I don't know what to summarize. I feel this whole year, honestly, everything that happens in reality is so much more dramatic than dramas. I pay a lot of attention to news, although I don't do it on my channel, like political things going on in the world. I actually watch a lot of those. Epic things that's ongoing, horrible things that's ongoing, has happened, still are happening. Like all these things are just insane at scale, and then compared to the what's the word for it? Abysmal, right? Like tiny waves in Dramaland that people are so fighting over. It's pointless. It's so pointless. We're at such an incredible time of this world, and Dramaland is what? It's like a sesame in the sea. So inconsequential, and also no good, like so little good things, right? Get made these days that. Yeah, I can do a summary video, but I'm like, what a boring year. 杨志刚 story love. He's not in story love 杨志刚. What do you mean? He's not in. Yang Zhigang is not. Yang Zhigang is exclusively in Guo Jingyu's stuff because they're brothers. I don't know which actor you're referring to, but you probably are referring to another guy. Yeah, best drama of 2025, worst drama of 2025. I haven't seen that many worst dramas because they're so bad that I can't watch them. So how am I gonna make videos on them? That's the problem. Usually when I see a really bad drama, I don't watch through them. You see, like I can't bring myself to watch through them. So I only know I can't watch any of them, but I don't know which one is which one is worst. I don't even know fully how bad they are because I haven't watched through them. Because I can't bring myself to watch through them. So then I can't fully talk about them and see the problem. I just feel if you haven't seen the whole thing, you really shouldn't be talking about it, right? Or you'll tell people how many episodes you've watched and based on those, like what it's like. But for example, Love and Crown, I can't watch it. You'd kill me if I watch it. For example, like the Love's Ambition, right? Those dramas, I can't take them seriously. It's such a fake character, fake people, fake world, fake conditions, fake everything. This so fake. And then there are other completely earlier this year there were dramas that were so-called data-wise really performing well, like the Bailu drama where Lin Jiaxian, right, with Zheng Shunxi. That I was can't watch through it. I mean, I watched 8 or 10 episodes. I was like, I've had enough. I can't continue doing this. There's another one, even earlier, 白月繁星, which I think the second lead couple was hotter than the first lead couple. The one with Bailu and Peng, right? But I also didn't watch through it because I can't bring myself. Just because the second couple is more interesting, but I have to watch the rest of the other things I can't watch. I have no patience. I'm so not having patience for it. So I didn't watch. So there's so many dramas. I think back, I'm to me, definitely not good drama, but I haven't really watched through them either because couldn't do it. So maybe I should say dramas I can't get through. Whether they're bad, it's to me, I can't even get through drama. So to me, it's bad enough already. But in terms of fully how they are, I have no idea. And I'm not going to actually look into it. It's I've already smelled the poop, so I'm not going to stick my face into it kind of situation. Yeah, okay, that guy. Okay, yeah. I think they both have small face, a similar height. That might be why you confuse them. Yeah, but to Chinese people, I think it's because they sound very differently. And the way they speak Chinese is very different. So if you've heard them speaking, it's impossible to mix them up together. Yang Zhigang has a very specific way of speaking Chinese. His accent. He has an accent and also the way he speaks that makes it almost impossible to mistake him with other people. He's very distinct in his vocal kind of expression. But then you have to fully understand Chinese, otherwise you can tell what is so peculiar about the way he speaks. Love has fireworks. I have no idea why it's not coming out. I don't know. It might totally just be scheduling thing. But Tan Jiansen, Wang Churan, I find it's almost impossible to picture these to work out the chemistry. Wang Churan, actually, her presence on screen is quite dominating. Disregard gender. You cannot ignore her, right? She's not like somebody you're gonna kind of automatically ignore into the corner. Tan Jianci, in comparison to her, it's kind of tricky how you can. I feel Tan Jianci as a typical romantic drama male lead has a lot of disadvantages. It's just naturally what he looks like, the way it vibes. Although, like, you know, like however manly his voice sounds like, his face is very pretty and young, little looking, and his size is also small. So for very tiny actress pairing up with him, it may work. But Wang Churan is actually a big framed female actor, right? She's actually big framed in actresses, sort of like by actresses standard, height wise, also framework wise. I don't know between them who looks more like a female lead. That might be a problem for a total, like a typical BG story. No, company don't care. They don't even read the comments, right? They wouldn't go and read Yang Zhigang left a comment there. They would just say, oh, it's our drama. We're gonna take out 1,000 this month that has Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty in it, and we just happen to flag you. That's what it's like. So it's not worth doing, really. Truly it is. But if you really feel the urge, you do it, and you know like it's not gonna be respected. And you know that to start with, fine. But if you don't like it enough to go over that, to say, even if it gets taken down, I don't care, then you can't do it. Like, you wouldn't have motivation. Like, I don't have drive to do one for the third season, because I don't get necessarily that moved by the third season. So I would like, if I put the work in it, it's not going to be so filled with my passion, but also like it's going to eventually get taken down anyway, so why do it? 12封信 is a pretty, 归队 is a pretty good drama too, but it's very heavy. It needs a little bit of patience and also like understanding of the history stuff. 不眠日 is okay. Yeah. 无尽的尽头 I haven't seen that one. 一人之下 not really, haven't seen. 余生有涯 it's not a bad drama, but somehow it just doesn't catch because I think it's too heavy. The Light Beyond the Reed. I've watched that drama. I don't actually have a huge problem with it, but I find it's... See, for that kind of story, right, that kind of like particular story, if you want to make it explosive, how are you going to do it, right? Or is it even like having the potential to do it? It's like, it's not a bad drama, but then it's very hard to convince people to go into it. Because you know you're going to like huge conflict constantly between all the characters, and it's a lot of torture. For everyone. Anybody who's gone through a case like that in real life would know like it's even worse in real life, right? So how are you going to convince anybody to spend 16 episodes time to watch that pain gets like detailedly shown in everything? I mean, it's pretty okay drama, but it probably would not be a happy watch. You are gonna have some kind of sufferings while watching it. I think people needs to be in a really good mood, or life is treating them really well. And they actually have no pain in their real life to watch this type of drama, and then, you know, like have that kind of room in your heart to feel for that. Otherwise, it's like, okay, I've had enough stress. I can't watch this. This is just gonna make me feel even worse about being a human. You know, so that's 余生有涯 that drama's problem. I think why it doesn't catch in these days, because even though China is already doing probably better than most of the other places in the world, it's still not really doing very well. Economy, everything, like young people not finding jobs because there are too many university graduates. People are all very, very, very pissed in many things. And like under that circumstances, watching these kind of like extremely hard to deal with plot is It's like, I'd rather play a game. You know? 利剑玫瑰 okay, but not that interesting. I watched to some point about 20 or so episode and I didn't continue. I know what happened at the end, but I think as a you know, like police drama, particularly child trafficking, it's okay, but it's not that exciting or that interesting. Just as a dramatic story. Some point on some way along the line, I just didn't want to keep watching anymore. Tan Jianci, he needs to be very, very careful at picking his roles, really. It's like people have their particular zone where they can give the best performance. Like I always say, particularly for young and more idol-like actors, right? You're not 50-year-old daddy actor who can do any role, who can be aristocrat today and then be a beggar tomorrow. You still have a zone where you are most noticeable and shine most. If you pick the wrong zone, it's gonna be a lot of work but no result. Emotional release. Yeah, the thing is emotional release. Also, you need to be actually at a place where you can have that. I think you actually overall have to be having a positive baseline. If you actually are absolutely hampered by everything in your life, right? Or you're not in actually a good position, you can't watch these type of stuff. It's just gonna make it worse. Because I've watched it, because that drama recently happened. Light Beyond the Reed isn't that long time ago. It happened, I think around September, October, something like that. Pretty close to now. I've watched it. I didn't talk about it on my channel because I find it's... I'll probably talk about it at the end of the year because it's good drama, but then I have to tell you what it is. And then you have to go and decide whether you want to spend your time because you're gonna get so blood pressure rising for everything that happens in that drama. Yeah, it's painful to watch that one. Yeah, so these days, this type of really painful story that's well made overall is actually hard to get popular because it's requiring too much from the audiences. They have to be actually so ready and so healthy in a way to be able to get into your world because your world is filled with fire, like the story world, right? If they're already completely messed up, they are we're not gonna do it. We're gonna play a 2-hour mobile game. That's much better to release my stress. Anything else? What a disaster. I only watched the first two episodes of that one. I said in my video, right? It's absolutely disaster and the worst kind of thing I've seen. Yeah, Love and Crown is so badly made that if I were the producer, I would cross out my own name on it. I wouldn't let people know I was responsible for its existence because on my grave, people are gonna throw eggs after I die. It's gonna be an embarrassment for the history of Chinese drama making, and I will be attached to that. My whole life is ruined by that. I would not let that happen, right? That's how bad it is. It's so badly done. Any YouTuber who's got more than, I'd say, 1,000 subscribers probably can do better videos. That's how bad it is. Yeah, it's already almost let's do a few more minutes and we can call it a day. It's 3 hours. I hope the snow has stopped. Ideally, I should go out and get some Renjialun. Renjialun is somebody from early days I really kind of feel good about. Till now, I don't care. At least he doesn't 自摸, but he is completely stagnant. He's the most stagnant actor Yeah, probably one of the most stagnant actor in the last 10 years. He literally doesn't progress on anything. I mean, good thing is he, no, it's not a good thing because he's starting to lose weight and lose so much flesh on his face as time goes on, as he ages and the collagen leaves him. His face is becoming like more and more like that. His hairline is always weird, and his characters never change, and his performance doesn't change. And I'm like, every time I see his name attached to drama, it's like, okay, that's a drama I don't need to watch, or probably it's not gonna do anything. I mean, the early days, right? Honestly, during the years when he was in 大唐荣耀 or later in the 锦衣之下, I could still see a spark. Like, he's engaged. It's like the person is clicked into. It's like a piece that's clicked into its socket, and it's been turning very efficiently, that kind of feeling. He's engaged. There's like a spark in his eyes, even though he gets dubbed, right, by other people who do a better line delivery. But as the physical existence on screen, you feel like he's clicked in. These days, it's like there's no clicking. The parts are completely just like suspended in air. There's no clicking of his performance, his input in it at all. He's like a robot that's just running through a set program. He's doing all the things and he's thinking about what am I gonna have for dinner. Like, it's like not there, the person. 任嘉伦 is like that. Yes, he's playing every same character in every drama, like Cheng Yi. But Cheng Yi and Luo Yunxi has, plus on top of that, a problem of 自摸. Whereas I don't think 任嘉伦自摸, he's just stably boring for years in everything he's in. Ren Jialun is that. Like earlier I said, certain actors have their niche, right? And it would be really not making sense for them to do other things. Like I said earlier this year, Bai Jingting is really suited for dramas like the one he did this year, Mobius, because it's less on him as a charismatic male lead who is like the projection of female imagination, and it's a fully romantic story where he does nothing but apart from having a romantic relationship with the female lead. He actually is the best in a drama where he has an important professional job and he needs to do it like 80% of the screen time. On the side, there's a little bit tail of a romantic story, that's fine. But if it's 80% romantic and 20% doing something else, he can't do it. Bai Jingting is not that type of guy. Screen presence wise, not his, he can't do it, okay? It wouldn't work, basically. It needs to be something else mostly, even if it's a comedy and he's a shop owner. That should be the focus. And then on the side, there's a little bit of romantic story. It works. If it's 80% having a relationship with a girl, no. Bai Jingting is that type of actor. Tan Jianci is a type of actor who needs to play a character who has a side that is twisted and dark. That's what makes him work on screen. His particular thing can shine. He has to have that negative, dark, sharp, menacing energy. Whatever, contemporary, period, fantasy, realistic, whatever the genre. His character mostly need to have that side, and it needs to be at least half or even more. If he's happy, goofy, all good and lovely, nice, and he disappears into the crowds. That's Tan Jianci. And, you know, Liu Yuning, I would say, tell you what he's not suited for. He's not suited for heavy realism. It could be light realism, like light metropolis romantic contemporary story. That could okay. It cannot be 人世间, that kind of drama, lifelong journey, or any of this type of heavy CCTV-ish realism drama. It would be really odd for him to be there. I would say that's not suited for him. And I don't love all his drama, somebody said. For example, like the drama he's in, like 长歌行, I couldn't watch it. I also don't like the 珠帘玉幕. Because on script level, that story doesn't make sense. I can't watch it. I'm like, this does not make sense. Most of the time, it does not make sense. So I don't like everything Liu Yuning is in. He's been in a couple of things. Also, like the Heroes one, right? Like he with Zheng Cunxi and Chen Chuhe. I also don't like that one. Although I know it's pretty popular when it aired. And I like the song. Like the song, but don't like the drama. So, no, I don't like everything he's in. He still need good script overall. If the script is not good enough, he's like he can't magically save it. He's not the type of person just because he's in it, it can like level it up so much. If it's a solid enough script and it's not like completely miscasting him, it usually is okay. That's what I think about him. Yeah, I see. Like people all agree with me because it's easy to see. Everybody has their vibe. That's what you call it, a vibe. And then you can't really describe it, but you know it's real. Like honestly, when you think about Tan Jianci, okay, and you look at Yang Zhigang and when he was younger, he looks like Tan Jianci. You don't believe that, right? But Yang Zhigang actually, when he was younger, looks very much like very similar to Tan Jianci, but you never put them in the same bracket because they vibe very differently. No, Liu Yuning is not, I think, but he's thinking about it. But he has a lot of concerts and end of the year concerts that he needs to do. So probably after end of the year, he's gonna start to think about acting. I think I've recently heard that, but I'm not sure. Liu Yuning is also an actor who needs to. He's not the type who can do anything. He still needs to be very specific about the type of characters that will work. But I think one thing I don't worry about him is he knows also. He's not one of those clueless people who would just think, oh, I'm the top of the world thing, I can do anything. You know, there are actors who are so like self-indulgent, they so think themselves as the coolest guy who should be loved by everybody. I don't think he's that kind of person. I think he's very clear about what he can do and cannot do. And there will be rows when people give it to him and he's like, I can't do this. This is not me. I'm gonna ruin it. I'm gonna make it a mess. You're not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. I'm not doing it. I think he knows. He's like clearly knows because this guy has a lot of experience in living in the real world. And Xu Kai is also Xu Kai is even emptier than Ren Jialun, I'd say, because Ren Jialun, for once, I thought he still had something. Like early days in his acting, there's engagement. For Xu Kai, I always only see like he's got a pretty face, but he's in the industry because it makes him rich and famous. That's it. Not because he likes acting or care about acting or characters at all. Like this guy probably knows nothing about what that is. Zhang Linghe's problem is he's a very blunt person in acting. Okay, he's not finely tuned in acting. He hasn't those very finely grown and developed nerves to understand tiny things in acting. The extremely developed sense, tiny things in acting actor is Ding Yuxi, but he's like doing it overboard now. Like he's starting to go off. But I'm saying like early days when you think about Ding Yuxi, he's the classic actor who's very sensitive. Like those nerves are like very well developed and extremely reactive. Zhang Linghe is as clever as he is probably with math and STEM subjects, and in real life as a really reliable calculator, human version, his acting sense, his sense of imitation, receiving emotional signals, putting it back, those finely tuned things, he's very missing them. I read Zhang Linghe as very, very wooden in that respect. Very big. Like there's no finely designed tentacles. It's all very just like sticks of wood. I have no idea. Yeah, that one, Wang Ziwen. Wang Ziwen, Liu Yuning. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Eyebrow twitch. He can individually move two eyebrows. Ding Yuxi, which I can never do. Mines are linked. They do, like they move together. Mines are linked. But his is like one goes up. Yeah, anything else? We let me just do another 10 minutes and we'll be calling it a day. Yeah, I think because super sensitive males always will have that side. It's like you look at, for example, like the way I think why, for example, even to other like race of people, if why Loki worked, it's because Tom Hiddleston has that side. Although he's like tall and has a deep voice, his face. And he has those sensitive, feminine kind of energy that you can feel the vibe. So he plays a really good Loki. Imagine if it's like Chris Hemsworth playing Loki, right? And that would not work. That just like is not the person's energy. Chris Hemsworth comes over, it's like lion. It's like Leo, right? Fully like sun energy. And Tom Hiddleston is like, lunar. You can totally see the lunar side. It's just like, immediately you get that, the vibe. So, Tan Jianci actually suits like dark side character. And Bai Jingting suits working business, not doing too much romance character. If you think about all those leading actors, right, you can almost always picture like the ideal situation where they get put into a drama and that may work. The thing is, a lot of them have no clue about that this is what is going on with them. Or they're looking at, or they're 吃着碗里的看着锅里的. It's like they're eating what's in their bowl, but they're looking at what's in the pot, which is, they want everything. And also like for 升咖, for like your actor tier go up, right? You need to be main, like lead of a major big drama, and who want to invest in those dramas? Usually it's the typical story. For example, if you're a male lead character, like Tan Jianci going into romantic drama, it's tricky for him because the typical kind of drama, as a like he cannot be a supporting actor, he has to be the lead. So there's like a very limited choices, and if it's in a romantic drama, the ideal male these days, right, for female audiences to watch and to like, is not really lending to his actually most suited type of characters. He actually, I think, is really suited characters in the story. Probably there's no romantic story, or maybe very little, and he's actually the kind of like lunar energy leading character who's shady. Or he's in the drama where he's actually not the main lead. He's the supporting role who's playing that dark energy. If the lead actor has to be inevitably the son, because like political correctness of drama censorship, the leading guy has to be a good guy, which is stupid. But anyway, if that's in that drama, then he's the lunar. He's the bad guy. He's the other side. Then that makes him sexy, and that makes him work. If he goes on and take the son position, boom, destruction. The story no longer works. And it's just the way it is. Okay? Yet I think because of people getting popular, the fandom would decide and dictate, and also themselves they're like, oh, I cannot be a supporting for another person. It's called 抬轿. which is like I'm lifting their sedan chair, which is they don't do that because they're now like they're popular and famous enough. It's all very hindering creating great characters on screen, and and the whole fandom who's number one, the whole Vanity Fair thing about entertainment business is very, very destructive on creativity and good work. That's why I don't like it. And in an ideal world, I would hope the world would have no like the current who's leading, who's supporting, who's more important than the others, who get more paid, who get a bigger trailer, and also like because in the story everyone is a part of the story. You cannot have less of a person to have the whole story working. Also, like the whole fandom culture is so stupid. You know, like all these having potential can actually be used in the right way and be really good tool for a director, for storyteller. Like that's a perfect person for my fit. But this is a small role, this is a supporting role, and your fans are not gonna agree with that. They're gonna thinking you're taijiaoing the main character, so I can't hire you. Like, wouldn't it be nice if it could be like we just look at actors as who they are and what they can best do and put them in the perfect position of every story. Imagine how good the story could be because it's done by the right people in right positions, right? Yet we don't get those dramas anymore, almost never now, because we're completely kidnapped, held hostage by the system of the ladder of the fame and who gets bigger name, who's Ifan, who's number one, who sits on top of whom. I so hate this. It's so anti-creative, right? It's like so working in the opposite of having good work made.迪丽热巴 somebody like for迪丽热巴 she's way too popular and having way too many tags, and she's honestly herself not a hardworking person, right? She's very hardworking, and also she's at that level where it's impossible to break and reshape anymore. But as an actress, if she ever wants to actually become a full real actress, she needs to break and reshape, because I don't like as a material, raw material, she has a lot of great things that's just hers. Figure, face, even her imitation ability. Like if you look at how she can speak multiple languages and she can almost perfectly imitate other people, that's a perfect Mercury quality that is classic for actors. Like great actors all have this kind of Mercury imitation ability, and she has a lot. And she's dancing, music instrument, like she can do a lot of things. So her body as a tool is really great to set up being an actor. But she's been using it in the circumstances and in ways that really is not actually farming it to any meaningful extent as an actor. We're not saying as celebrity, as the beauty queen, as any of that. But she's surrounded by people, and she like whole fandom is like, she's the prettiest of them all. Like it does not matter as time goes on, as you get older, the prettiest of them all is just illusion. She actually is a great material, raw material for being a great actor, but she hasn't really actually used it at all in the right way. And I think right now it might be just too late to... And also, I think she's also very much held hostage by this public beauty queen image of like she's the prettiest of them all. That she cannot do a lot of things that are not serving that image. Even like her usual makeup style, like all what she looks like in 小姐清凉. Honestly, I think for her look, to make her look the best, her current like makeup and style look is wrong. I know people probably will hate me for that. I mean, she's pretty, but there are ways actually will make her look like as a raw material shine the most in the most unique way, that most memorable and then most suiting her. But all her makeup style right now is actually not helping her. Didi Raba has extremely male features, very strong, sharp lines, bone, and her eyes are huge and very wide. Mouth, in comparison, is too small, and she has like that nose, which is very rare. Now, with all those features, she has too small a face, too big features, like eyes particularly. All her makeup right now is still trying to make her eyes look even bigger, with all the eyelashes and liners and dark brows and all that. It actually doesn't balance the face. Her tiny face, which has a little space left, right, with all those huge eyes and stuff, actually she needs more space. If you give her more breathing space, lighter color on her eyes, and then make her lip actually look like bigger, like not necessarily darker, but balance the face a little bit more, she would actually look even better than what she looks like now. Like, that's my ideas about her face when I look at her. Right now, I think there's too much here, and her eyes are like so dark in here. She's already have like really wide eyes in comparison to Asian people most of the time. It's too much. It actually unbalances her face and makes her look like angry and older than she is. If she lightens that, she will look so much better, but it's balanced. It's like a weight distribution of the face. And hairstyle needs also a little bit help of hers, but she's already very pretty. But the thing is, the best part of her, like the best version, if you can pretty her in the right way, it will be even better. But now all her style goes to that kind of femme fatale, deep, like dark lip and striking like thing. Style-wise, I don't think it's actually making her look the best. In terms of her acting, she's done too many idol dramas that are very, very repetitive and almost falls into a systematic reaction of everything that I feel like she probably hasn't been a real actor for a long time. It's like, can we just like genuinely forget about there's a camera looking at you? And like her acting has very little connection to reality. That's what I feel. Although it's not bad, it's like she cannot emotionally wreck me with her presence. Like it never happens when I look at her. I look at her, I'm like very pretty and okay, but I don't get moved by her at all. But I don't think she cannot do it. It does not matter, like what trends. You know, trending makeup is stupid. Everyone has a different face. What works on you is not gonna work on me. And you think like trending makeup is like, it's stupid idea. Unless everybody has the same face. She's much younger than what she looks like. Because her makeup is aging her up, and it doesn't necessarily actually make her look the best, in my opinion. And then her acting, in my opinion, is she's being used as the idol drama thing, the farming tool for the company for like a decade. If like she's already a model worker, like her schedule is insane, and she's still kicking, which is incredible. Like this person has so much energy, but there's no nurturing of her as an actress. She's completely outputting all the time, right? And it's outputting similar things constantly. How many times can you work this thing until it completely becomes impossible to truly engage? Almost done. Somebody came here. I started at 9:30. It's like 12:49 now. It's already 3 hours. You're a bit late. We've said everything. Yeah, Didi Raba. She actually suits lighter makeup, lighter color, not dark, not like black, deep. It's like brown, warmer, and less. For her face, really less is more. She already has so much. Her face is already just like, if you wipe her face clean with all the makeup remover, it's still like really big features. You don't need to add on it. Yeah, I never look at trendy makeup because I know my face is almost like you can't do anything to it. There's only one way of making it up, pretty much like to make it look okay. I'm not like the perfect 3D model that is so perfectly built in three-dimensional space that I can do anything and it's always gonna look interesting. Just like from bone structure perfect, I'm not like that. So most people are not like that. 95% of people are normal people, and there's just like one pretty much way of making you look decent. Not too bad, that's it. If you wanna go overboard and you change like a particular style to another thing, you tend to look worse. It's being pretty is a lottery. It's so difficult. If you play Where Winds Meet and you make a face, right, completely by yourself, you model every part of the muscle, and you know how weird and tricky beauty is. It's so tiny. Sometimes it's just like that 2mm difference makes a difference from being beautiful to normal, or even from beautiful to ugly. And it's so fine-tuned thing on face that if you have naturally a perfect skull and bones and happen to have good enough skin on top of it, you've won a lottery. And it's genetic accident. Because you have plenty of very pretty people who have completely average parents who look so normal that you can't believe that they have this kid, but the kid is like so much prettier. Yeah, the kid actually looks like both of them. It just happens to take the best part and did some magic sprinkle on it. Right? They're so classic of pretty people. Again, if you look at some of the best looking actors, right, and then you look at what the parents look like, and you're like, you're joking. No way these two gave birth to this one. Yeah, okay, I can see the eye here a little bit. But the mother's like face, the rest of the face is totally not working. And the dad's, hey, this part is good. And this kid just happens to take all the best part. And that's a lottery. Next time, play some music. I don't have any new things to play these days. I'm just so bored. I have to take that up here. And when I play on camera, I mess it up because I'm nervous. Yeah, directors pretty much have no choice. In Dramaland, they probably can introduce a couple of supporting roles they've worked with previously in getting into the drama, but the leading is not up to the director. It's up to the investors. Whoever is putting the money in decides who is the leads. For example, like Xiao Qixingrang, right? You can see a couple of people who used to work with Tian Li, the director in his other dramas, who end up in this one. And because they are tiny roles. They're like supporting roles. They have like what, 10, 20 scenes in total. Okay, so then that can happen. There's even like when you even started shooting, people get kicked out. It's normal. Like the production has already started. The camera is already rolling for a while. And the investor decides, no, we want to put this, squeeze this baby into this and take the role of the other person. The person has already filmed a couple of episodes. Still, they get kicked out and a new person comes in. Happens all the time. In a couple of like dramas I know, like it's so happening like that. Yeah. Director is just a chore. Chongqing dialect. Chore. It's just like a employee worker. Yeah, black one. Yes. Also, in this industry, also has a lot of money laundering, but also it's really hard actually to account book a movie making thing, because a lot of things are not invoiceable. You cannot create an invoice of a lot of things. Like food, like going out for dinner. That's like the eating culture of China is you talk business on dinner table. And often those things, like it's impossible to actually, like how do you invoice it? And a lot of those costs becomes actually real, but then you cannot have it on paper in any form, but then you still have to do it for tax. So a lot of shady things go on. You know, like there were like certain like food catering companies who are basically monopolizing like shooting crews in Hengdian because they're big enough. They can create this form of a big contract so that it's traceable and invoiceable. And so for the company that later when they do their tax, it's easy. Even though they could get better food probably with smaller catering people who do better food, but those people cannot provide usable things for their account book. So they have to go to the bigger providers. So it kind of end up being monopolized. All that happens in the movie making industry. And then there are always costs. You cannot actually find anything to prove that you've spent the money. So you have to do some illegal maneuverings. It's a mess too. And it's one of the reasons why there's a lot of shady things going on in the industry. Not exactly because people want to be bad. Sometimes they have no choice. Yu Zheng, whatever. Who cares about Yu Zheng? If you care about him, you're stupid. All right. Think about him as a loud frog in a summer pond, just gra 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 all the way. But you don't have to take a frog seriously. And when winter comes, they die. They disappear anyway. Okay, we should be... Okay, since we're already here, we'll just hit the full number, like 3 hours, 30 minutes and get up. It's like 2.5 minutes left. Enough for a person to die. Wow. We can just sit quietly and wait for that to happen. Year after year, Chinese dramas just becomes more and more pathetic. Hiya. Really? My friends are chatting. It's so funny. Actually, do you know like Chang Hua-sen, the actor from Blood River? Second, like the lead. Tang Yuan. He's a pretty solid, experienced Tang Yuan. Communist Party member. So for people who are very sensitive to that word, beware. If you fan him, you're fanning somebody who's a solid Communist Party member. He's actually like a 公务员 vibe person. I can't believe that. I didn't see that coming. 曾庆杰, let's see. Why not? It's like if you're an adult, you can be a Communist Party member. There are plenty of Communist Party members in the acting world, but you probably don't know who they are. 主玉。曾庆杰. Whether 曾庆杰's magic can save Zhang Linghe, this is the test. Right? It will prove eventually whether Zhang Linghe is savable. If even him cannot make him work, I think we can give up on Zhang Linghe as an actor now. We should just keep him in variety shows and for him to be clever and breaking all the puzzles that needs numbers. Turquoise can't say much. I only watched 2 dramas where he's in and 1 not fully. I think he's better than Gongjun in comparison in Blood River. But if he's like that good, right? I'm not yet sure. Also, like, just personally, because first impression wasn't good. A Journey to Love, I hated his character. But that's like a lot to the writing too. Anhe, I think I have a better impression on him based on his performance that I've seen, but I think I still need a fully good one that I can just look through it and not get like kicked out of the story and then judge. Right now I'm like, I know I have friends who's really into him, but to me his I can't quite see like what is too special. Okay, Wang Duo is interesting this year. Yes, I agree. His contemporary drama is very, very, like, it makes me feel like he's a real actor. much that more than his period fantasy, because his previous period fantasy is just so detached, and I'm like, you know, I never connect with his characters. But this year, because of the blemish flaw one, I'm like, okay, I can see what is actor of this person. I don't even think Gongjun acts that well with men these days. I think he's traumatized, so he has closed that off. So not only is he no longer working with women now, he doesn't work with men either. That's Gongjun. 成也萧何，败也萧何，成也单改，败也单改. That's him. He got made by VL adaptation. He got at the same time destroyed by it. Starting with, he no longer really could, like, he never really was able to do a good chemistry with a girl, and then that happened to Word of Honor. If I were him, I would be permanently branded and traumatized that I can never bring myself to shine sparks and stars to a guy. I'm gonna be like, it's so dangerous for me to do that. I'm just gonna try to keep my own, so I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I've got 2 girlfriends who love Blood River. I mean, like, so that makes me what? Gender neutral? Because I can't connect with it. I tried. I couldn't. Like, all those 3 dramas that happened at the same, the 4 dramas. Blood River, Fated Heart, Sword and Beloved, the Luo Yunxi one. I can't even remember its title. It's like all 4 of them. I'm like, disappointing in their own way. Dangerous to do what? Dangerous to do what? Dan is not accepted by China right now. You can't do a guy thing, right? And also, like, even when you're just hinting it, it's like your drama is not officially a BL, but you're starring the other person, you know? You think about the previous trauma you've gone through because of that. Like, would you be able to do it? I'd say no. Okay, I think we're done. If anybody wants to know more, you should just go back, and I've talked about all the ongoing dramas right now. And I don't know how to time code this one. This one is also going to be messy. But thanks for the viewers who have been here. Hope you're having a safe time where you are. Hope the weather is treating you kindly. Hope the end of the year is going to be filled with celebration and happiness and get-togethering. Take care. I'll see you in my Saturday video. And probably from now on, I'm gonna translucentalize my trailer clip and then flip them horizontally. If YouTube still flags me, I would just say F YouTube. Please take care. Bye. I'll see you on Saturday.